cock. Let's do this again. Holy fucking shit. All right.
What do you got?
I think I can prove to a judge that both of these men had the mens rea.
What the hell is a mens rea?
It's a legal term the lawyers use. It just means the intention to commit a crime.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Mens rea?
Put the cuffs on him.
How could we have gotten mens rea? We take blood? Can you do it without taking blood? We both use condoms. How is this possible? I want to see a doctor. Can I have an independent blood test?
Money!
I feel sick.
What are you doing?
Mens rea! Oh! Oh! My God! No! I'm having my Korean panic attack.
Hey, everybody, welcome. How are y'all doing? It's me, Legal Vices. Welcome to day 2 of the trial we're streaming here of Travis Rudolph. Travis Rudolph is on trial. He's been charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. Welcome, all of you. This is a continuation of the day 1 stream we just finished. It took us 9 hours and 25 minutes to get through day 1. We're starting day 2 right now. Thank you for the 80 of you that got here. Thank you to Hayden for reminding me that I still had to set to private. So therefore, we've probably already been demonetized for this particular stream, because once I saw Hayden's message saying that I was still set to private, the first words out of my mouth were cock, and I think it was either fuck or son of a bitch. One of those. So, welcome, Hayden. Here we are, day 2 for the Travis Rudolph trial. How are you?
Well, I'm glad that 80 people made it across, because there's still 174 sitting on the other one, and I can't see the video on your page.
We should be there now, because there's 103 people here now. It's slowly working its way through the system. I hope everybody knows we're over here now. That was totally my fault, because it's me, and that's how I roll. Yeah.
My only concern at this point is that we can't access the chat in StreamYard.
Yep. Well, they'll figure it out, because we are already working our numbers up. We're 100. We're not. I lied. We're still at 103. Well, now we're at 114. So, all right, we are on day 2 of this trial. Forget the fact we literally just in our time frame went through day 1. We're pretending that never happened. We're in day 2 here of this trial. Again, he's been charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. During day 1, the prosecution said that they're going to show that this was not self-defense, because, as they said, quote, murder begins where self-defense ends. They're saying that whatever situation was created that would justify a finding of self-defense ended at some point. And as part of that, they showed a video, part of the ring camera, where the people were walking away, the people that attacked him. were walking away, and the prosecution alleges that they chased him down about 300 meters, and after he chased them down 300 meters, he fired 39 rounds into their car. On their opening statements, the defense, they painted a completely different picture and said, no, this didn't happen. It wasn't that way. And they offered lots and lots of contradictory statements. Let me quickly flash back here to the notes. The defense was saying that it all started because a woman was scorned, his girlfriend. They said it was necessary that he used that force to save his own life and the lives of his family and the people staying with him. And the defense brought up the fact that there was text messages between the defendant's girlfriend and the defendant's girlfriend's brother, where she was saying that she was physically assaulted by the defendant, and she wanted her brother to go over there and, quote, shoot his shit up. And her brother said he's a walking dead man. And it was a dysfunctional relationship. There was lots of stuff said back and forth, but the brother of the defendant's girlfriend, 3 of his friends showed up out of somewhere. The defendant couldn't tell us how they showed up or how they knew this was going on, but they all went over there and they knocked on the defendant's door around midnight and allegedly jumped him as soon as he opened the door. They got in a big scuffle, and one of them allegedly brandished a firearm, after which the defendant allegedly ran in and got his firearm, and they got involved in this thing that eventually ended up in the car being shot up 39 times, 1 person dying and 3 people being injured. The first witness was Keyshawn Jones, the defendant's girlfriend's brother. And he was saying that, testimony was brought out that he had purchased a firearm and sold it to one of the other guys that went with him on this visit to the boyfriend, the defendant, the day after he bought it. He couldn't remember anything. He doesn't remember much about what happened. He can't tell you who he talked to, what he talked to, who talked to what, how his friends got there. He can't remember if he sold the gun, how much he sold the gun for. He can't remember whether or not he created a bill of sale. And he was saying when the sister texted him saying, oh, he did this to me, he did all these bad things to me, go shoot his shit up. He was thinking, okay, it's not, he's not that dumb. He's not really going to lay hands on a woman. But it was also testified that there was testimony given to the fact that one of the people pulled out a weapon and said, it's demon time. The police have been criticized by the defense for talking to the brother and questioning the brother for only 10 minutes about a murder that allegedly took place. There's cameras all over the place. There's a Ring camera that caught a bunch of stuff. They lied to the police. They didn't call the police, first of all, and lots of things are going on. And let's see here. We've got, I'm just scanning through the messages to make sure we don't miss anything relatively appropriate. Okay, when they were talking about the sister saying, go shoot up his shit, and her brother saying, yeah, he's a dead man walking, they both said it was hyperbole. They didn't really mean this. They didn't really mean they were going to go shoot up his shit. They didn't really mean he was a dead man walking. They were just talking amongst themselves in a hyperbolic manner. But weirdly, they get there to where they're going, and the 4 people, they start putting allegedly weapons and cell phones and wallets and other things in the trunk of the car. It was the girlfriend's mother's Cadillac. They put stuff in the trunk, and they were angry when they arrived. Going back, and the person that died, Sebastian, they're saying he didn't even have a gun. The car was shot up so bad it broke down, but they never called 911 until after they realized that one of the guys was no longer moving. The cops came, they interviewed people, and under cross-examination, the defense's the defendant's girlfriend's brother was giving very, very conflicting statements. He was very, very combative. There was a lot of, like I said, a lot of conflicting statements that were going back and forth. And again, he doesn't know why he brought his friends. There was hyperbole when they were talking about going and killing people and dead men walking and all that other stuff. It didn't go much better under redirect. The only real thing we took away from the redirect of the first witness was it probably would have been better if he had called the police. Then the second witness was the girlfriend of the defendant, the woman who is at the center of all of this, who some would say instigated all of this, others would say was the tragic victim in all of this. She said that one thing that they brought out was she was married. She had been dating the defendant for a year and a half. She'd been married for this year and a half. And during that entire year and a half, she never bothered to mention to the defendant that she was married. She'd had some sort of surgery, an elective surgery. It's speculated so far, because we haven't heard any testimony to that effect, that it was a Brazilian butt lift. We'll have to see how this pans out, because again, there's been no evidence presented to exactly what kind of surgery it was. He helped her, and she was saying she believed it was a committed relationship. It was a committed monogamous relationship with the defendant, while at the same time admitting that she's been married to another dude since before she even met the defendant. And saying that she mentioned that she had asked for a break in the relationship, but they continued to send each other all these lovey-dovey texts and whatnot. And then there was a video where they were at his house. She was trying to come in. Allegedly he was blocking. He was trying to prevent her or block her from going into the house for some reason. It shows on the video that she got aggressive, got physical with him. And she even admitted that she put her hands on him first because he was trying to prevent her from going into the house. And then she came up with this big, he slammed me to the ground twice, when it was kind of more of like a little push sort of thing. We don't know what that's all about, but he did put hands on her at some point. She falls to the ground. And then she calls her brother. Well, she messages her brother and says, shoot his shit up. He talks about dead man walking. And then she admitted that she deleted those texts. So she says, go shoot up his shit. They talk about the dead man walking, but she deleted those messages because it looked bad for her. So she admitted to doing that. And then towards the end, she was testifying that he knew about the relationship with this other man of hers, but he didn't know that she had actually been married to him the entire time. That's kind of the rundown of what we've got here. We're going to start the day. We're going to start day 2. We'll probably go through lunchtime. We'll see how much time it takes up and what we've got coming after that. We'll probably wrap this up at lunchtime and pick it up tomorrow. We'll just have to play it by ear and see how it goes, because I've already been going over 9.5 hours doing day 1 and now this. But bringing us on here right now is Aussie Overlawd. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, hello. Don't mind me, people. I'm just tucking into my dinner that I should have ordered a few hours ago. So.
All right, yeah, we got Aussie Overlawd here, and we're just going to jump right into this. We're going to put up a like and subscribe poll here in a minute. We've got 264 of you here and only 91 likes. That's like roughly 1/3 of you hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Let's get the word out to YouTube that we are doing day 2, and they need to start sending people our direction. So thank you so much for all of you that hit that like button. Please subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I would be gratefully indebted to you, and I would be thrilled if you would subscribe to me. And while you're subscribing to me, make sure you also visit Aussie Overlawd and subscribe to him. And eventually we'll have a like and subscribe poll put up, which we do every day. But I would just please hit that like and subscribe buttons, because that's what we're here for. And if you believe you're subscribed, if you know you're subscribed to my channel or even Aussie Overlawd's channel, double check, make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube unsubscribes you randomly for some reason occasionally.
That's where we are from my own channel, people.
That takes skill. And just before we break in, it's a good morning to our gal, the person who is responsible for making us watch this, because I was sleeping peacefully. I was getting ready to sleep peacefully one night at the end of last week when Fluxx from House of Fluxx, HOUSEOFFLUXX, all one word, House of Fluxx, 2 X's, started sending me all these Twitter DMs going, you have to watch this. You have to watch this cross-examination. It's crazy. It's off the rails. It's all going nuts. You got to watch it. And I said, all right, I'll freaking watch it. And then I watched it and I'm like, oh, okay, this is how we ended up here. It was because of our girl Fluxx. What's up, girl?
What's up? I love how in your tired mind I have Camelot voice. I love that so much.
No, that's just like my general not from Utah voice.
I love
my Utah voice is just like the dumb people from Utah voice. And everyone else just kind of gets a random out there. We could go full Camelot, but we're not that bad yet.
Oh, and I'm so glad that I woke up for day 2 because
this is what started it all.
Yep. Good morning, chat. How's everybody doing? I sound
We were
worse
here when
today.
she went to sleep.
Yeah.
She joined us at the beginning of day 1, then she went to sleep and joined us now. So that's where we're sitting. We've got one super chat to start the day, and of course, this is a brand new day, brand new stream. So what that means
is Aussie here?
Ozzy is here. He's just munching.
I'm
lunch.
just eating dinner.
Hey, what's up, Aussie?
It is $100 Doggo Cam back on top. We released the hounds after as a bonus for reaching the $100 in super chat. That's where we are. And once the $100 super chat is reached and the hounds are released, then we also put the law and crime cut cage on them. If you know, you know. If you don't, you'll find out eventually, hopefully. With that out of the way, anything you want to say, Fluxx, before we jump into this?
I'm just so happy I'm not watching this alone.
Me too.
Because, it's like the Maritime Mondays, they're terrible, they're tragic, but, it's just something about watching them together that makes it enjoyable,
For a split second there, I really thought you were talking about Jeff's show.
Well, no, just the themes in general.
It's terrible. All right.
No, the tragedies
I can't be the
themselves.
only one. Come on, chat. Back me up here. I can't be the only one.
You're the only one. They're smarter than you. All right, everybody. What do we got going on here?
Oh, and happy Memorial
Oh,
Day.
no. According to this video, this is still privated from StreamYard. So what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm going to bail out of this, and then I'm going to rejoin it because I can't see any of the chat because it still thinks I'm privated. So Fluxx,
Wait,
while I'm
what?
doing that, just ignore me. Yeah, it's a thing. Fluxx, grift while I'm gone. I'll be right back.
Hey guys, go check out my channel, House of Fluxx. I paint and yell at the government. And guys, it's Memorial Day weekend. It's a weekend where we remember our fallen. And a lot of people, vets, there are 2 types of vets. People who say, don't thank me on Memorial Day, and people who say, thank me on Memorial Day. I'm in the camp of thank a veteran for a fallen veteran. So when you see veterans, don't thank them for their service because that's for Veterans Day, but thank them for the service of their fallen. That's what Memorial Day is for.
In that case, on behalf of Australia, I would like to thank you on behalf of the US citizens and veterans that gave their lives throughout the years to keep the world safe.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And Fluxx?
I will be pouring one out for my dead homies tonight.
And Fluxx?
Yes.
Thank you for still being alive.
I'm glad for that. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm glad for that too. Marv White with a $2 super chat that I can't bring up because it was deleted during that recent reboot thing here. I bet you haven't got one in like 10 minutes. Talking about super chats, I guess. Thank you so much for that. We've started off. We are now $98 away from Doggo Cam. But thank you so much for still being here. Fluxx was a badass logistics person driving big old. Were you driving like the 2-ton vehicles? What were you driving?
I was licensed on pretty much everything, but mostly I drove Humvees and the 915s, which are like tankers.
Awesome. And as we said, she was dodging IEDs, and I mistakenly once told her she was dodging IUDs. But that was my error.
I'm always dodging the IUDs. You always got to dodge the IUDs, man.
Yeah. Here we are. Let's bring this up. Let's just jump straight into day 2 because it's 9 hours long. We're probably just going to go to lunch. We'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear because it's now 10 p.m. here in Korea, and I have been streaming for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Or 21 minutes if you just joined us on the replay crew. It's all relative. Let's share the screen. Boom. Here we are. This is our defendant, TRAVIS RUDOLPH, who has been charged with 1 count of first-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. Again, if you're not familiar with the case, and if this is your first instance in dealing with it, go back, watch the entire long stream we did yesterday, and you should be caught straight up. And in the meantime, I am trying to get us here. We need to download. All right. Come on. Come on. There we go. Boop. Done. There we are. All right, everybody. Let's get underway with day 2 of the TRAVIS RUDOLPH murder trial. And thank you, Lori Ann, for the let's bring it up. All right. Unhung Hero says, I've seen clips of this cross. The clips of this cross, popcorn. Clips of this cross is what got me to do this trial because Fluxx sent them to me and disturbed my sleep for the entire night.
So
Unhung
you've
Hero.
both already watched this cross, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, this is going to be fun.
Unhung Hero again. I've seen clips of this cross, and dang it. I nuked Lori's chat. Where'd the hell did it go? I'm a degenerate. What's wrong with me? I'm sorry. 956. She gave a 4 doggo cam thing. Got to scroll down to it. There we are. Boom. Lori Ann says for the doggo cam. We got the dog cam. We are now just about 90 away from doggo cam. We're doing good. Fluxx sending messages to other people in chat because that's how
he said they won't hold being an 88 mic against me.
All right. Well, if I said you were an 88 mic, would you hold it against me?
Some people would.
All right. Let's get on with the super chat. Not super chats. Let's get on with the trial. And again, for those of you that have, what was that?
88 mic, motor transport operator. All we do is, you know how in every branch or in every job, someone's always like, oh, you're just the this or you're just the that. We just drive and get blown up.
Awesome. Don't do that. Don't do the last part though. That's kind of sad. When it's time to give yourself a shot for your homies, let me know and we'll do it together.
Sounds good.
Let's see. Anything else to get out of the way before we get going? I don't think so. Again, watch day 1 to get caught up. I gave you a little bit of a background in the first few minutes of this stream. And with that, we're going to jump straight into the cross-examination of the girlfriend of the defendant. This is our defendant, former NFL player, TRAVIS RUDOLPH.
Real quick, it's funny because every once in a while, I try to tell Mrs. Fluxx about these cases, and she could really not care less. And the other day I come back in, I'm just like, oh, that was a brutal cross. And she just turns and looks at me. She goes, TRAVIS RUDOLPH, the NFL guy. He was on the Giants. I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's the same guy. I'm like, yeah, it's the same case. She's like, why didn't you tell me? I would have listened. I'm like, oh.
Mrs. Fluxx, pay attention. And Mrs. Fluxx has her own channel, Mrs. House of Fluxx.
Yeah, I think it's just Mrs. Fluxx. But it's funny because she just, every once in a while, she'll just put up her games and it's just all chaos.
Some time. All right, we finally just skip ahead here. And as I thought, rebooting the system gave us all of our buffering problems a solution. But it is Mrs. House of Fluxx, which I think is cute.
Oh, nice.
All right, let's go on. Here we go. Day 2, TRAVIS RUDOLPH, murder trial. Brutal cross-examination. This is the only thing I've seen about this. And again, as you watch these criminal trials, remember, it's not what you've read about in the papers. It's not what you've seen on TV. It's not what you've read on the internet. It's not what you've heard on the news. It's not what people have mentioned in chat. The only thing that matters is what you hear in court. The only thing you can make a decision on is the evidence that you hear as testimony in court. Other than that, it doesn't exist. And
Good morning.
under the theory of innocent until proven guilty, or innocent unless proven guilty, is that you must assume that the prosecutor is wrong. You must assume the prosecution has the wrong person. You must assume the defendant has been wrongfully accused, and it is the burden of the prosecution to prove that this man is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. It is the prosecution's duty to prove to you that he did not act in self-defense in committing these murders. That is what you have to focus on. Don't listen to anything else. Be processing in your head, be thinking, think out loud if you want, but separate your personal feelings from what is able to be legally established in a court of law. Let's go. The jury is now entering the courtroom. This is our defendant, and this is Cliff from Cheers, who is his lawyer. And we have Peggy Bundy, who is on the left here, his other lawyer.
Is it wrong that all I see is A-Train from The Boys?
No.
All right, welcome back, folks.
Not at
Everyone
all.
take your
'Cause I've been-
seats. First, let
I've
me
been
apologize to the
wondering
jury.
who he
Many
looks
of
like
you
to
have been
me.
here for more than an
That was
hour.
it.
I've been here for a
That's
lot
it.
more than an hour, but we're just now finally getting ready to go, and I apologize for the delay. All right, who's the state's next witness?
Yes, Your Honor. The state calls Lieutenant Ryan Gornall.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, so they are calling someone out of order.
I
Yes,
was gonna
Fluxx?
I was gonna ask about that. Why I don't understand why.
Apparently,
this.
What's-Her-Face was an hour late.
Yeah. Well,
This is because of the issue with her car.
yes, this is the
Okay.
deal. They're calling a witness out of order because the star witness for the prosecution, the girlfriend of the defendant, was
I
an
forgot.
hour late. So they delayed court an hour-ish, like an hour and 20 minutes. And she still wasn't there. So they went ahead with another witness, and she's going to complain and make some excuses when she takes the stand. But in order to prevent people from having to wait longer, they called a witness out of order, which the prosecution does not like to do. Trust me.
Can we start calling her like OnlyFans Grimace or something?
No, that's gross.
I mean,
No,
I'm pretty
that's
sure
gross.
that's what she
Just
does.
shut up. That's gross.
Please, that chick is a poster girl for voluptuous. If you know, you know.
Mm.
Mm. All right, they're waiting for the officer to enter the courtroom. He's scratching his backside in his 1970s suit with his 1970s comb over. And the officer appears to be no better with his hairdo.
Do these people not have friends?
More to the point,
Not
do they have a
everybody can be
mirror?
not everybody can look
Right.
as good as the gays and lesbians, Fluxx. Y'all got like
We can't
style
just roll
porn,
out
man.
of bed like that.
You would no self-respecting either person would come dressed like this to court. Dude, comb your
Okay,
hair.
as soon as you're comfortable, will you please say and spell your
Wait,
first
isn't this a
and your
cop on the
last name
stand?
for
Where's
the
his full
record?
body
Yes.
armor and all that sort of shit that they usually
Ryan Gornall, RyanGornall. All
All right, thank you very much. You may inquire, Mr. Classy.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mr. Gornall, what do you do for a living?
I work for Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, currently a captain.
He's a
No,
fire
How
guy.
long have you been working with that agency?
Almost 16 years.
What type of training do you need to get to do the type of job that you're doing right now?
Well, before getting hired, we do EMT, Fire Academy, and also paramedic certifications to get hired on. And then there's always continuous training that we do throughout the department, medical and fire-wise.
Okay. And when you started back 16 years ago, how did you start out with the agency? What position?
What position? You get hired as a firefighter EMT.
You said you're a captain
All
now?
right, folks,
Correct.
we should be okay on the
I wanna take
volume.
you
Let me know if
back,
there's any volume
to
issues. It
April
should be
7th,
balanced with us
2021.
being
What position
slightly
did you have
louder
that was
than
any
the
different at that point
witness.
with fire rescue.
At that time, I was a lieutenant.
And what are your primary responsibilities when we're going on in 2021 as a EMT?
Okay, so as a lieutenant, I was in charge of the rescue truck, the transport vehicles that take patients to the hospital, basically. So typically we're a 3-person unit, and I would be in charge of that unit.
Okay. Now, speaking about April 7th, 2021, were you on duty that day?
Yes.
Okay. And were you called out to assist with medical intervention for a person at 545 West Jasmine Drive?
Correct.
And did you respond to that scene?
Yes.
Okay. Who went with you to go to that location?
Well, my crew, and then I believe our engine crew, and also an EMS captain, and several deputies were there. And I think that's about it.
Okay. And do you recall approximately what time you got to 545 West Jasmine Drive?
I believe it was shortly after midnight.
And when you got to that scene at 545 West Jasmine Drive, who did you see? Who did you treat when you got there?
I remember there being several deputies on the scene already, and then I remember seeing a male in the front yard, kind of being cared for by some of the deputies on scene.
Okay. And so that male that you saw in that area, was he lying down? Was he sitting? Do you remember?
I remember him sitting upright, you know, kind of in a little bit of distress, but he was sitting upright. He wasn't like flailed out on the ground or anything.
And was this a man by the name of Tyler Robinson?
Correct.
And you spoke about it, and I think it's obvious, but was he unconscious, semi-conscious, awake and alert?
He was awake and alert.
So once you get there, what do you start doing in terms of medical intervention with Mr. Robinson?
So we get there, we see that he's awake and alert, which is obviously a good thing when we get there. So we see the multiple gunshot wounds to his back. With patients like this, we typically like to move fast and get them to the hospital. So I believe we were only on scene for a couple of minutes. We put him on our stretcher, we put him in the back of our truck, and we try to get going as soon as possible. We take vital signs, and that's pretty much what we do as paramedics. We get vital signs and we treat those. If they're out of line with you know, normal vital signs, then we can treat those appropriately.
Okay. Now you mentioned gunshot wounds that you noticed. Do you remember, as you sit here today, exactly where you noticed those gunshot wounds?
I do. I remember them being on the back. I think one to the upper right shoulder or back area, and then and then I believe one to the lower right back area.
Okay. Now, in terms of specifics, is there anything that could help you remember
It's lucky to
exactly
be
where
alive.
you noticed that those things were, those gunshot wounds?
Just according to my report.
And now what I'd like you to do, I'm going to ask the question. In terms of the first gunshot wound that you noticed, do you remember exactly where it was on his body in terms of right, left, shoulder area as you sit here right now?
I remember it being on the right side. That's what I remember.
Was it in the back right side, front right side of his shoulder?
I remember it being on the back right side.
Okay. And then in terms of additional gunshot wounds, do you remember anything about his right middle back?
Yes, I believe he had 2 gunshot wounds, one to the upper right back shoulder, and then one to the middle or lower back right side.
Okay. And in terms of those 2 gunshots that we just mentioned, in terms of your training and experience,
We're speeding
did
us
they
up
appear
here
to
a
you
little
to
bit.
be entry
Let me know if
wounds
it's
or exit?
indecipherable.
They appeared to be entry wounds.
Okay. And did you happen to notice an exit wound anywhere in terms of his body?
Yeah, I believe we saw an exit wound on the front left abdomen area.
Okay, so that shows he was
And what
shot
about
in
an
the
entrance
back.
wound
That's
near
not a
his
good
lower
thing
left
for
side?
self-defense.
Exit. Or excuse me, entry.
I mean,
entry-
unless they still had a
Yeah,
gun in
I
their
believe he had one
hand.
entry wound to the front left,
If
and then
someone
also an
has a
exit
gun
wound
in
in
their
that
hand,
kind of similar area.
and they
in
held
terms
it
of
at
how much
me
he was
at
bleeding,
one
would you
point.
characterize it as he wasn't
Wait,
bleeding?
I think he just changed his testimony to say it was actually an entry wound in the front. Let's listen to this again.
Wound. Yeah, I believe he had one entry wound to the front left, and then also an exit wound in that kind of similar area.
Okay,
How
that
do you
doesn't
take
make sense.
Multiple shots coming from different directions.
it makes sense if you're standing facing him, you pull out a weapon and shoot him. Like, you pull out your weapon and point it at him. He then starts shooting it. You get shot and go, oh shit, and turn to run. But he's still pop, 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 pop. You know what I mean? Because again, in my case, if you held a weapon up to me, I don't care if you held it up to me and you're ready to fire, I'm going to shoot until you're no longer moving.
Well, see,
because
I guess
until the threat stops.
I guess that's the interesting thing. So they had an entry wound in the front and an exit wound in the front. He could have been shot in the back and spun around and took her around to the front, or he could have been shot in the front and spun around and took one to the back, which exited the front.
Or potentially one of the dipshits standing behind him may have accidentally shot him as well.
But no, they said there was only shell casings recovered from the defendant's
there was
weapon.
no. I do believe the defense's theory is that he was trying to chase them off his brother, and while they were in the car one last time, they all pull out their guns to be like, and that's when he's like, oh, they pulled out their guns. Pa, 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 pa.
And so potentially one of he's turned, he showed his back.
And it does.
Well, I just have to see. Yeah, go ahead, Fluxx.
Yeah, in the testimony, they do say he was not fully in the vehicle. I believe he was halfway in and out the vehicle, got shot, spun around, fell out, and then that's when he got shot in the back the second time.
Okay. And in terms of how much he was bleeding, would you characterize it as he wasn't bleeding, minimal bleeding, maximum bleeding? What was it?
Minimal bleeding.
Okay. So tell me exactly how you would treat those types of wounds, or what you did do, in fact, in this case, to treat those wounds to get him to the hospital.
Right. So with minimal bleeding, we put occlusive dressings on.
I'll stop you right there. Can you just describe for us what occlusive?
Sure. So occlusive dressings are kind of like plastic bandages, if you will. We put them over the wounds. Anytime someone's shot in the torso area, we're concerned with their lungs being hit. So it kind of just covers up that area so that the lungs can still function properly, go in and out. And if you have that hole there, then they would not be able to function properly. So that's why we put the occlusive dressings on especially when we're not worried with bleeding, which there was minimal bleeding. We just put those occlusive dressings over the gunshot wounds.
Okay. What about either IVs or oxygen masks, anything like that as well?
Yeah, we started multiple IVs. It's standard protocol for a trauma patient like this. Give him fluids just in case he has internal bleeding. We put him on oxygen mask with high flow oxygen. I believe we also gave him pain medicine towards the end of our transport.
Burning sensation, it doesn't matter. This is
and just
Florida.
Continued to monitor his vital signs, which I believe remained pretty stable throughout the incident.
Okay. And then do you remember approximately what time you were able to get him to the hospital, St. Mary's?
I think
I don't know the time exactly. I know it was a pretty our time with the patient was very quick. The location where the incident happened and the general station where I work at is very close. I think it's within 3 miles. I think the transport was. So like I said, with trauma patients, we try to get in and off the scene. Our standard is under 10 minutes. I don't even think we were on scene for that long with this patient. And then our quick 3 mile transport, I think 10 to 15 minutes, we probably had this patient in our care.
So from your memory, do you think it was sometime around 12:30 a.m. that you were able to get him to St. Mary's Hospital?
Yeah, around that time, yes.
And then once you bring a patient like this to the hospital and he's dropped off in their care, is there any other steps or any other involvement that you had in this specific case?
No, we radio into the hospital. This patient was a trauma alert, so there's certain things that the hospitals prepare for when we get there. We go to the trauma room, we turn the patient over to the trauma team that's waiting for us. We give them, a rundown of what we did, our care, and that's basically it.
Yes, sir.
Pause. What's the pause for? We're not certain we can't be done with him already, can we? I guess we are. Holy crap. That's all they have for him. Weird.
Yeah,
Right.
his was really short. And I do believe we get like 2 minutes of the finishing direct before cross.
We don't know that yet. We're not in the future, Fluxx.
I'm just saying it's almost time.
Just for clarification,
It's almost time.
It's time.
Mr. Robinson, you saw what appeared in your training experience to be 2 entry wounds in his back right area.
Correct.
Okay. And then you saw 1 exit wound to it.
No, there's overruled. Go ahead.
And there was an exit wound on his left lower abdominal area, right?
Correct.
And then lastly, there was an entry wound to his left lower side.
What's up, Val?
It is.
I can rephrase.
Freeze. Sustain, rephrase.
What, if any, entry wounds did you see on the left lower side?
Looks confused.
I believe there's one to his left lower abdomen area.
The prosecutor's trying to be funny with his
Thank you
words.
very much. Defense may have some questions for you, all right?
Sure.
Who's going to do the cross? Okay, Mr. Shiner, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please do.
I don't remember there being a crossover.
Good morning. Well, thank you.
All right. You treat everybody in Palm Beach County who needs your services, right?
Every
Doesn't matter if the person is a little child or someone who's a terrorist trying to blow up the airport, hypothetically. If they're injured, you provide services to help people, right?
Absolutely.
You don't make judgments about the patients at all, right?
No.
And do you have any way of knowing if the, well, let me ask you this. When you get on the scene, is the young man that you're helping have no shirt on?
I believe he had no shirt on. Correct.
All right. Do you know if he had a gun in his pocket?
I do not believe he had a gun in his pocket.
That's something the police would check before you get there, probably.
Most likely, yes.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes.
Do you remember if he was wearing sweatpants or pants?
He had pants on. I don't remember if there were sweatpants or
pants or
shorts
prison.
I would remember if he was naked or in boxers. Or
That's why the
something.
camera's
Remember
always
anything in his
waist
pocket
high,
at all, front
waisting
pockets?
up.
No, I do not.
No notes at all to say whether he had anything or not have anything?
I do not.
All right. Did you cut the pants off him or one of the other paramedics?
That it would be
Cutting
standard practice to do
pants
that. I
off.
can't recall if we actually did that on this patient, though.
Okay. But normally you would do that if someone may have injuries that you need.
Yes, we would expose the patient to check for other injuries.
Okay. You said this particular patient, Tyler Robinson, when you got there, he's sitting up, right?
Correct.
That means his behind's on the floor and just sitting up on the ground.
Correct.
And he was awake and alert, was your words?
Correct.
When you say moderate distress, what's the difference between severe or slight? I mean, what's the difference? How do you determine?
It's
Well,
just,
he was shot
I mean, you
3
could tell that he
times.
was injured and in pain. I mean, no distress would obviously be someone sitting up, with nothing going on. Severe would be maybe someone like crying out or yelling or, and I guess that's subjective to whoever's interpreting it.
He
Do
was
you know if
shot
any of
3
the wounds
times,
had
so I
fragments
think
of the
that's
bullet as
pretty.
opposed to a bullet
you
going
know.
through. That maybe this bullet may have hit a metal object first before the fragments may have hit him.
No, I had no indication of that. No.
You have an indication there was a solid bullet that went in his back?
I mean, I can't answer that.
As
No.
You
Opposed
don't have
to
that kind
an
of expertise, do you?
No.
unsolid
All right, so you
bullet?
can't tell the jury if it was a fragment that may have hit another object that struck him, like a graze wound, or a
No.
direct hit. You don't know.
No, we go there strictly. We're medical. We treat the patient. We treat their wounds.
Okay, this is
He
a
had
weird
what
line
appear to
of
be gunshot
questioning.
wounds, holes in his
I
torso.
understand why
We treat
he's
that. We're
doing
not
it,
worried
it's
with
just weird.
what kind of bullet or if it hit metal first or anything like that.
You do this every day. Is it a little surprising someone with these kind of wounds would be sitting up and able to talk and be in moderate distress?
Yes.
Not necessarily. It's every call, every patient is different.
Three
It just depends on where it, I guess, travels throughout the body
rifle-like
once it
shots
hits
to
the body.
chest.
So it's not atypical.
This gentleman, this young man you're checking, he's not a young kid, right? He's an adult.
He's an adult. Correct.
21 that was reported to you, right?
Correct.
You consider him a man.
Correct.
Okay. He didn't have any injuries on his face, did he?
Not that I remember.
You don't remember any kind of injuries on his hands or his upper torso other than the bullet wounds we just talked about? In other words, you had no indication he just got beat up, do you?
I didn't know. I do not recall thinking that. No.
You put that in your notes, right?
Right.
Nothing in your report reflects anything like that, right?
Correct.
Doesn't look like to you that he was just in a major fist fight or leg kicking fight. Just looked
Leg
like he had
kicking
some
fight?
wounds that you described, right?
Correct.
What?
Okay. You see
Oh,
people, obviously,
Someone
many times
tweeted
they
about
report
me
bar
that I'm
fights,
absolutely
fights, and you see
disgusting
they have injuries
and
from getting
extremely
into a fist fight, right?
disrespectful to our
Absolutely.
fallen
Hit by
vets
another
because
human
I
being.
said I'm pouring one
Correct.
out for my
No
dead
indication in this
homies.
case that happened.
Not that I recall.
You
No.
saw.
Right.
What?
Nothing in your notes to refresh your memory that it happened, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, shut up, people.
You said you're,
Oh, I
what's
love
your work
it.
is real close to St. Mary's?
I love it because
Correct, where I was
they're
working
my friends.
when this incident
Fuck
happened, yes.
off.
Okay. And obviously you're familiar with St. Mary's. You're probably there every day.
Correct.
And just so you know, I know she won't mention it, but she's saying that out of respect because she has been in a combat zone for an extended period of time, and
I
she
have
actually
not-
legitimately does.
I have-
What?
I have not been in combat zone. However, I have
lying.
lost friends.
Okay,
Yes.
there you go. She's actually
My
Has
friends
homies, yeah.
that I have lost deserve. They're my homies and they've died. And that's how we deal with our shit is dark humor. So, you know.
so. Shut the fuck up, people.
Okay. Then you're driving down US 1. Is that how you went from this scene? Do you remember from US 1 to Broadway?
I don't remember. I don't remember absolutely which way we took. I was in the back. I don't drive to the hospital, but I don't think we would take that specific route there.
How would you normally go?
I believe we would go back towards Dixie and head south from there because that's the road that St. Mary's is on.
Okay, so you'd stay on Dixie and go straight down?
Typically, that's the way we would go, yes.
You ever respond to calls and take US 1 that turns into Broadway to get to St. Mary's?
This is a
it could
weird line
happen.
of questioning.
Yeah, not any
It's
specific
all
calls that I remember,
bizarre.
but it could happen. Just depends on where we're at when the call happens.
Are you familiar with any hospital signs showing civilians that there's a hospital off of Broadway or US 1?
Irrelevant.
I don't know specifically, but I know most hospitals do have the blue hospital signs around the area to let people know where the hospitals are, yes.
And you probably don't pay attention because you obviously know where the hospitals are.
Right.
And once you put him in the transport to take him to the hospital, he was still alert and oriented.
Correct.
And it has in the report, it says mental status, normal baseline. What does that mean, normal baseline?
Just normal for the patient. He can answer questions. Normally we ask people, their name, where they're at, maybe the year. If they answer those questions correctly, then they have normal mentation as far as we're concerned.
All right, and it says neurological normal baseline. Is that similar, that their brain is working properly?
Right. They can answer normal questions appropriately.
Did he tell you, this young man, or did you ask him what happened?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Did you ask this man what happened, why he got these wounds?
No, not that I remember. Like I said, we typically don't get into that. We were just there. We let the police do their detective work and try to figure out why this may have happened or what happened, but we're treating the patient.
And you can't tell this jury if this man was sitting down when he got these injuries, if he was crouched by a door, possibly pointing a gun. You don't know, right?
I would have no idea.
No idea if this was a deliberate act or a self-defense act. You don't know that.
No.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Mr. Shiner. Any redirect?
That was weird.
All right, great. Is there any reason why, Captain Cornell can't
It's
go on
really
Bounty's Day?
weird.
All right, thank you. Watch your steps. Stay safe out there.
And
Okay,
while they're
who's
bringing
the
up
state's next witness.
Mrs. and talking about all the ex-girlfriend and talking
Yeah.
about all this, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
All right, and you said there's no objection?
No objection.
All right, wonderful.
He said the word select. I'd like to use the word hard.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. An excerpt from the records from treatment St. Mary's of Tyler Robinson, right? All right, and that's state 9? All right, thank you. Number 9. Sounds like a Beatles song to me. All right. I'm sorry? Yeah, yes. Okay. Yes, it should. All right, very well. And I take it there's no objection to that, right? That's correct. All right, thank you. Let's bring her in, please.
Oh my God, I thought that was Jeff at first. It's the judge clearing his throat. I saw his mic was muted. I was like, I don't understand.
Oh, here she comes.
Y'all, get ready.
I'm sorry, what?
All right, Ms. Jones.
No.
All right, Ms. Edwards, you may continue the direct examination of Ms. Jones.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, God.
Good morning. Yes, I apologize to the jury as well as the judge. I know you guys are on a time limit, but something happened with my vehicle.
Okay, so
I want to know what happened with her vehicle.
Yeah.
So last evening
Ours
when
was
we
lying.
left off, we were talking about a series of text messages that you got from Torini, and you said that you did not take her seriously to mean that your brothers would be in danger if they went over there, your brother and his friends.
Correct.
Did you know whether or not Mr. Rudolph had any firearms?
Yes.
I'm back. I was
And
just
how
getting
many
me a
firearms
cigar.
did Mr. Rudolph have?
Ooh.
2 that I know of. I know he had an AR-15 and I know he had like a regular handgun.
How familiar are you with firearms?
Oh.
Do you know sort of the make, model, anything like that?
Not really, to be 100% honest.
So you knew one was a handgun, meaning it would be held in the regular,
Correct.
shorter gun. And then you said one was sort of a rifle type. You said AR-15, but you're not sure if that's the make or model.
Yeah, and he's always say something about like a drum. Like I knew he had a drum for the AR-15, but not really educated in that aspect.
And do you know where Mr. Rudolph would keep the firearms in the residence?
Well, that would
He
explain
would
how he
keep
got
his
39
handgun in
rounds
his
off.
underwear drawer, and then he
Right?
would keep his AR-15 like in his closet.
And that's a closet in the bedroom as well?
Yeah, his bedroom.
After the course of what happened on the night, early morning hours of the 7th, really going into the next day.
Someone yesterday while you were asleep was saying that they just smash her face into the dough to make frog cookies.
Yes. I've never been in a situation like this before in my life, so I definitely just wanted to do research and just look things up to make sure, if anything I need to turn myself in or I need to protect myself. I wanted to make sure.
Why would you need to turn yourself in?
And,
That's what I'm
Did you have a
saying.
particular interest in the law?
Go
As in-
Lord.
Did you want to study it? Anything related to that? Go to law school?
Oh well, back
How
in
the
the day,
fuck is
yeah,
that
I
even
did want to go to
remotely
law school, I'm
relevant?
not gonna lie, but it ended up not happening.
You said your profession is a real.
Yeah, I do real estate.
All right.
And again, the prosecution has lost their ability to use a microphone, apparently. So I know the prosecutor's quiet and she's loud, so there's not much I can do.
But I did tell you the audio is good when they use them, right?
Yes. Oh, the audio's fine if they just do it. And Nathan C., who has pushed us to only $90 till Doggo Cam, are you going to do Legal Vices meetup at Matsuri? What's going to happen at Matsuri is I don't know.
It's still
Yeah,
pretty up in the
I'll
air.
be there, and Hayden's going to be there, and Fluxx is going to be there, and a bunch of other people are going to be there. I'm going to be there. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. There's no special plan up meeting things, but who the hell knows? We'll just play it by ear.
We don't
That's the
know at
best
the
I can
moment
say.
who's getting tables, who's getting booths, who's going to be where and when, people. All I know is at some point I'm supposed to be getting a beaver hat.
Yeah, that's the only thing that we know is Hayden and I day one are going to head on over to the mothership where I get all of my Western hats, Miller Hats from MillerHats.com. They are in North Houston. I'm going to go over there. I've invited Aussie to come with me to get him a real decent hat from MillerHats.com.
Nice.
And I'm going to talk to them about doing this sponsorship. Because
Nice.
I spent a lot of money at them for over the past 10 years. All right. So we'll just kind of play that by ear and we'll see how it works out as things go by. And Vienna Waits for You. What a great song that is. Wow. A trial where the audio is actually audible. It is when they use it, as we've just been saying.
No further questions at this time.
Okay, thanks. Who's going to?
That's the end of the direct examination.
Ms. Perlette, cross-examination? Yes, ma'am.
And let's get it on.
Oh God.
Let's get ready to rumble. Oh, she's just moving the whole damn podium over.
Finish her. See, she even gets the hand. Yeah, nice. She even gets the handheld mic for herself just in case.
When you met Travis Rudolph, you knew that he had been in the NFL. Is that correct?
Correct.
He played for the Giants and then he played for the Dolphins, right?
Later on.
Right, but
Not initially did I know that, no.
But at some point during your relationship, you knew that he had a very lucrative contract with the NFL, correct?
I knew nothing about his contract.
Okay.
Bullshit.
But you knew he played for the NFL, right?
Correct.
Okay. And at some point he became injured, right?
Correct.
And he was cut from playing for the NFL. He lost his contract basically, right?
Correct.
And he would spend his days down in Miami rehabbing and training, right?
No, he would spend his days at home playing video games.
But your testimony is that he never went down to Miami and was rehabbing his injury in order to play for the Canadian League that he had just landed a contract with?
That's not my testimony. You said what was. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Isn't it true that
Those
he was
little
rehabbing
jabs that she
his injury?
tries.
Sometimes.
And other times he was playing video games. That's your testimony.
Correct.
And isn't it true that he was also training down at the NFL facility down in Miami after he was injured?
I'm not sure what he would do in Miami.
That was a concern of yours, wasn't it? That he was off in Miami.
Oh,
and
zing.
You didn't know what he was doing, right?
Correct.
Oh,
When
she just
Travis-
admitted that she was
when you
worried
met
about
Travis,
what
had
he
a
was
nice
doing.
vehicle, a BMW truck, is that correct?
Correct.
And he was taking care of you basically financially when you guys were together, was he not?
He was not taking care of me financially at all during our entire relationship.
How old were you when you guys met?
23.
So in March of 2020, you were 23 years old?
March of 2020. Yes, I was 23.
And you were living with your mom and stepdad and your brother at the time?
Correct.
That was in the apartment in Delray Beach?
Yes.
Spring Harbor Apartments?
Mhm.
Apartment, is that a yes?
Yes.
Apartment E?
Correct.
Two-bedroom apartment?
No.
How many bedrooms?
3.
During that time, you didn't own your own home, right?
No, I didn't.
You were living in the home that your parents provided you with, right?
Correct.
You were living under their roof, right?
Correct.
You didn't own any property, any real estate, right?
No, but I was a realtor.
Okay, let's talk about that. You got your real estate license in February of 2020.
I was a
right?
realtor.
Right around the time that you and Travis met.
And let's talk about you being a
Right?
realtor and how successful
Let's
you
see,
were.
you made one sale. It was a rental, right?
Yes.
During the whole time that you had your real estate license,
I just got my real estate license in March. Not to cut you off, sorry, but I just got my license in March, and then COVID. Okay.
isn't it
Wrecked.
true that you were not making a living as a realtor? COVID hit. There was no sales going on. You weren't making a living as a realtor, right?
You rented one
Correct.
place.
Okay. So you're living with your mom and dad.
You rented one
Feel free
place.
to stand up and stretch, please, ladies and gentlemen, but remember and obey the 4 cardinal rules.
That's awesome. She made one sale in her entire time as a real estate agent.
Right?
No, but I do have a mom, and she's a medical assistant. So
Okay. And you were living with your mom.
Good.
Right? And you also had some costly cosmetic surgery around that time, right?
I feel uncomfortable discussing that. So
Oh, he didn't ask if you can't, if you're uncomfortable talking about your surgery. You had it, didn't you? The
Your
elective
feelings on the
surgery.
matter are irrelevant.
The
It doesn't matter if it's
surgery.
relevant or not.
Mm.
Yes.
That face. God, ugh.
Frog cookies.
It makes me so
So now they're
She
going to
sting
talk about
herself
whether
in-
or not they can talk about her surgery as a topic for cross-examination, which they can because they brought it up on direct.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you know, I had surgery and he took care of me and he did this while I was recovering. So they get to bring it up. It's not a HIPAA violation if they make her talk about it. She entered it into evidence. She opened the door to this
And they're not
discussion.
being specific. It's just
They
a
could be
generalization. Mm. They could, and she details it later. Not that I know.
During the
future.
time you had cosmetic surgery, did you not?
I did have cosmetic surgery.
Okay. And it's your testimony that even though that you weren't making a living as a realtor, you were not relying on Travis for any financial help, correct?
Correct.
In fact, yesterday you testified, you told this jury that you never, he never financially supported you 1,000%, right?
Correct.
At that time, you were
Just
also sleeping over
99%
his
in
house
my
pretty much
opinion.
on a daily basis. That's what you told the jury yesterday?
Correct.
And it was during this time that you and Travis were dating that you were actually married to another man, Andre Ginseng. Is that correct?
Legally separated, but correct.
Well, you were still legally married, weren't you?
People could be married and separated.
Sorry, separated is not really a thing. Legal
Yeah.
separation is still married.
It's a
So-
tax thing more than anything.
Yeah, and it sets out sorts, legal rights and who does what. It's like a pre-divorce, but you're still married.
Mhm.
So we were separated.
Right, but you weren't divorced, let me put it that way.
Correct.
Okay, so if you're not divorced, then you're still legally married. Is that correct?
I thought separated was a thing when it came to marriage. I thought you can either be married, separated, or divorced. But
No.
if you want to get technical, like very technical, yes, we were not divorced.
This
And
isn't
while
Princess
you were
Bride. You
dating,
can't be
Travis
dead
for this
and mostly
year
dead.
or So year and a half, you never told him that you were married to another man, right?
No, I didn't.
Mrs. Fluxx,
That she was
And you
married.
testified yesterday.
Mrs.
that,
Fluxx says this
you and Travis had a
speech
conversation.
would make a good lawyer because she's very good at not saying what she is actually saying. She has a
Yeah,
good spinning the truth.
And this whole thing, like I said, this is the only part that I've watched is this this cross-examination here. But this rationalization she does for not telling her boyfriend of a year and a half that she was still married while they're talking about marriage and talking about children, et cetera, is astounding. Listen to this logic she uses as to why she just didn't think it was important to tell her boyfriend who they were talking about marriage that she's still married to somebody else.
About marriage. Is that right? That's what you told this jury yesterday. That you and Travis at some point you had a conversation about marriage. You remember that?
I didn't necessarily say we had a conversation about marriage. We basically were discussing has that came up about a future, and I said things have came up that weren't that serious, but yeah, conversations were had
About marriage. That was your testimony.
not specifically about marriage, just about a future between me and him, kids, things, etc., stuff like that.
Kids sharing a life together,
Today,
literally
you did
everything.
not say yesterday on direct examination that you and Travis had a conversation about marriage. Is that what you're telling the jury?
No, we had a conversation about that. Yes, we did.
Okay. And you had a conversation with a man about marriage, and you're still married to Andre Chusang. Is that correct?
Correct.
You lied to Travis. You misled him, did you not?
Travis never asked me if I was married.
So you have to be asked a question in order to get an answer.
That's
and
misleading
told
by
the truth. Is that what
omission.
you're telling this jury?
I'm just telling the jury that the conversation about me being married never came up, so I never spoke on it because I felt like it was not my personal business to speak on.
It wasn't her personal business to say that she is personally married to someone else while she's talking to her personal boyfriend about personally marrying him. It's not her
Make it make
personal
sense.
business.
Make it make sense. It's not my What is my personal business?
It's not my personal business to mention that I'm personally married to my personal husband. Oh, Lord. Ozzy
If
is
that
here
is
in
not
spirit.
personal business, what is?
I'm still
Right.
here. I'm just trying not to fall asleep.
A question, a specific question. You don't have to tell them the correct or honest answer. That's what you just told them.
I'm not telling you guys that. I'm telling you guys that in relationships, you have a past. It might not be clean. It might not be the best past that you have, but I decided to leave the past of my relationship.
Bitch, it's your
behind me.
present.
When
You're
I started
still
dating
married.
Travis, I felt like I didn't need to disclose that because it had nothing to do with what me and Travis had going on.
Other than you couldn't actually get married because you already were married.
Isn't it true you never told him?
I never. No, he answered.
Next question.
You said that yesterday you told the jury that your relationship with Travis wasn't an open relationship. You remember that?
Correct.
Okay. So the implication or the understanding was that this was a relationship that was exclusive between the two of you?
Correct.
And Andre didn't fit in this at all.
Haven't spoken to him in 2 years.
You got divorced from him after Mr. Rudolph's arrest. Is that not correct?
Yes, because it was already in the plan before Travis got arrested.
You knew in April of 2021 that Travis had received a contract with the Canadian League and was leaving for Canada in the following month in May. Did you not?
Yeah, I knew that. Mhm.
Okay. And he got a contract to play football. He was excited about that. He was leaving for Canada in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he wasn't taking you along with him, was he?
I didn't ask to go. I had my own. I was a realtor. I was starting to get back into real estate.
Okay. During COVID when you weren't making any sales, right?
Can you get back into real estate if
He
you
wasn't
never
taking
got
you with him, was he?
into real
No.
estate?
He was leaving you. Right? He was leaving you. He was going off to Canada and he was leaving you here in the States, right?
Yes.
Okay. He had no interest in taking you with him.
Okay, now this was part of the defense's opening statements was she was a woman scorned. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned was the first words out of the defense's mouth on their opening statements. And I think this is where it is. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned whose husband boyfriend can't be a husband because she's got one of those already. Her boyfriend isn't taking her to Canada where he's going to further his professional football career. So I guess they're asserting that she's pissed about that and she's upset that she's not invited to join him. So therefore
She's losing her sugar daddy and her meal ticket. Of course,
Yep.
German shepherds are going to be pissed off.
Yerp. Sounds good to me.
Right?
I don't know exactly. I don't,
Overruled. Go ahead, answer the question.
I don't know what Travis's intentions were
Did he
of
ask
taking
you to
me.
go with him?
He used to say things like that all the time, but that's hearsay. So I'm not going to say that.
Hold on.
Wait. It's what? Okay,
You're
lawyer.
telling us-
Oh,
let me say it
yeah.
this way. This man never planned on taking you with him to Canada. Isn't that true?
I don't know that for a fact.
Did he
Bitch,
ever
he's
tell you
leaving
he
in
was
a
taking
month.
You to Canada with him?
He would say things like that all the time. You can come visit me, things like that all the
He
time.
wasn't taking you with him. He had no intentions because his
I don't know that. So
You
you're asking me a
your
question
booty
and I'm
call.
responding to you. I do not know if he had intentions or not taking me.
you didn't have a plane ticket to go with him, did you?
He didn't have one either. He didn't even have a passport.
Did you have a plane ticket to go with Mr. Rudolph to Canada?
In 1 month.
He was not leaving until May, and no, I did not have a plane ticket. This all
She
happened in
cannot
April.
answer the question.
At the time,
Of course not. The
of
answer is
this incident,
no.
did you have any means of transport or a plane ticket, anything showing this jury that it was his intention that you were moving to Canada with him?
No.
Okay, then shut up.
And you knew in April, when you guys were dating, that it was his plan to just go work in Canada for a short period of time, and his hope was to get back into the NFL. Isn't that true?
I didn't know his ins and outs. I knew he had a contract with the CFL, and that's the most that I can say to you. That's all I really know.
So he never discussed with you his hope that he was going
She's
to come
a
back to
lying,
Florida and work
trifling
again for the
asshole.
NFL? That was never a discussion?
He has said things like that, but I don't know exactly his intentions of what would have happened.
Well, he did say things like that. There was a discussion with you about that. You just
There was a discussion.
Overruled.
didn't you just say that you guys had a discussion about that?
Yeah, we had a discussion.
That's so hard.
It's not. I'm just trying to make sure I'm answering the questions to my best
A little
ability. That's
argumentative.
it.
All you have to do is tell the truth, and it'll be.
I am telling the truth,
A
but
little
you're
argumentative
asking.
again.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, it gets so
You were
bad. It gets so
hoping
petty.
that when he got the contract with the NFL, that you guys would then be married, like you told the jury you guys had discussed, and
No.
you would benefit by his millions of dollars that he was going to be making from the NFL.
First of all, I didn't even know how much money he was being offered.
Next question.
You guys
God,
had
I
broken up
can't.
in April 6th of that year, right? You were basically finished.
I wouldn't say that from the text messages that were shown yesterday.
Well, what about in your mind? Not about the text messages. Isn't it a fact that you guys were pretty much over?
I said I wanted a break, but you know how relationships are. Relationships
I
are
wanted a
iffy. You
break.
might say you want to break one day. The next day, you guys
But I
might
wanted to get
are.
together the
Relationships are
next day.
iffy. You might say you want to break one day. The next day, you guys might be back together. So
You told the jury yesterday
Bitch,
that
you
hadn't
don't get
seen
to
each
play
other
with
for about a
people's
month.
feelings
Remember
like
that?
that.
you don't see someone
Right?
doesn't mean that you're not with them.
Yep.
Right? Well, you weren't with each other during that month. You weren't having any
We were still
relations during that month.
we were talking every day, FaceTiming every day. And some days when he would come back down, he would come pick me up and I would see
What
him.
speed are we at?
But you would
0.05
agree,
speed.
you don't see somebody for a month, and prior to that, the implication is that you were seeing them before that, that the relationship has taken a change in course, has it not?
Because I had surgery.
So the only reason you stopped seeing each other for a month was because you had surgery.
Correct. I was at his house every day before I had surgery. And then when I had surgery, I was only able to move so much. And I wasn't really able to drive in a vehicle that much.
You know, you just said that sometimes he would come and pick you up, even though you told
I had to sit a certain way. I had to do things a certain way in order to go places.
That's
Yes.
It was Brazilian butt lift surgery
Yup.
because she had to sit a certain way.
Yup. She couldn't
Oh,
sit a certain
no.
way. She couldn't drive herself. It was 100% a BBL. I wasn't joking about that. She
Well,
definitely got a BBL.
Oh no, because that was like the
I'm
rumor,
so
and that's what
fucking
you were saying.
gobsmacked.
No,
Yeah,
that's
there
why
was-
I said she's lying out of her fake fat ass.
Oh no,
can't
so
believe I
that was her
called it.
big
That's
surgery.
hilarious.
I mean, I was open to the suggestion, and I didn't notice it because it didn't make any sense the first time I watched it. So now it does. She had to be careful how she was sitting because she had ass surgery. Okay, nice. Well, it was either implants or a BBL. We're not sure yet, but she had some sort of ass enhancement surgery.
But the Brazilian is where they take the fat out of the other parts
Yeah.
of your body. So I would
Yes.
say it's a BBL because she looks like she has some despair everywhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't look like any is missing from anywhere either. So we'll have to see. No, not a Brazilian. That's a different thing. Twisted Bunny. Yeah, Brazilian is different than a Brazilian butt lift. One is in the front, one is in the back. Just saying.
Well, depends how hairy she is.
Go to your room. Dude,
My God.
dude, no. I'm not even going to entertain that. Get out of here. You're not allowed to say it.
yesterday that he took care of you for a week, right? You were recuperating, right? Is that a
Oh,
yes?
God.
Yes.
Yesterday, you told the jury that you were concerned because he was in Miami so long and I didn't know where we stood. Remember telling the jury that?
Yes.
So you didn't know where your relationship was at. Isn't that correct?
I didn't know when it came to him being in Miami, but I knew that me and him still had a solid relationship because it was over a year.
Well, why did you say that? I was concerned that he was in Miami so long. I didn't know where we stood.
I didn't. That's why I was going on the movie date so I can figure out where we stood.
Because your relationship was basically over at that point. You didn't,
Nobody ever said the relationship was over. So to my knowledge, it was not over.
you now said. or
I
said
didn't say
yesterday,
it was
that
over,
he
so it
was in
wasn't
Miami
over.
Did
so
you ask him if it was over?
term. So he was.
Yeah,
spending
because
a lot of
clearly,
time.
if you don't
Was he
ask the
not?
question, it's not
He was spending
true.
time in Miami. Yes.
Right?
He was spending
Yeah.
more time in Miami than he was playing video games, wasn't he?
Kind of in the middle.
Bitch.
And you were jealous that he was down in Miami so long, right?
I'm not going to use the term jealous. No, I was not jealous.
Bitch?
I wanted him to do well. I wanted him to go to the CFL. I knew that was his dream. So I wouldn't call that jealous at all.
You knew then, now again, that after he went to Canada, his dream was to come back and his hope was to get a contract with the NFL, right?
I mean, usually that's what people decide. I'm not sure exactly what his decision was, but if you go off to the CFL, yes, that is something that you do try to pursue after.
Okay. You also told the jury yesterday that I felt uncertainty because I didn't see him for a month. You remember that?
Correct.
Okay. So you basically did not see him at all for a month, right?
In person, because I was healing, but I did see him through FaceTime, on the phone, through text, every other type of communication.
Why would you feel uncertainty if the relationship had changed course? Why did you care that he was down in Miami?
It's not that I cared. It's just that I just had surgery. So I kind of wanted comforting from him and him to be there a little bit more and things like that. So that's more of what it was.
Well, you
I
had
got
some
a
concerns because the minute he
cosmetic
stepped out of the
surgery
house when
that was
EJ came home,
100%.
he took it upon himself to snoop through his phone, you right?
I didn't
My
snoop because he
choice.
gave me the passport. So I just want to
And he
clarify
wasn't
that.
loving
Well,
me
hold on.
enough.
Oh, now we're getting into the snoopage. This is where I started furiously texting Fluxx when we're getting into the snoopage part. She didn't snoop on his phone because he gave her the password.
Months prior.
Yeah.
Months prior, he had given her the password to his phone for something. So it's not snooping because she had the password.
It's not snooping because she already had the password. He just wasn't around when she picked up his phone and looked at it.
And started
Because she
looking
wasn't
through
jealous.
the text
That's
messages.
a crock of shit. If I lend my car to somebody and give them the key and they hold onto that key, if they then take my car a month later, I'm reporting it stolen.
Right?
Right.
Right?
He
I
did not
agree.
give you the password that day, right?
He gave it to me to let me know I can look through it whenever I wanted to.
Right. That he gave you that password months early on in the relationship, right?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
So this is not a situation where you guys are alone in his house. He says, hey, by the way, here's my password. Feel free to go into my phone. I'm going to go step outside. That didn't happen, right?
Right.
No.
Okay. So he walks out for a minute and you could not resist to take his phone, his personal property, go in, put his password and start snooping around, right?
Yes, because we were in a relationship and he gave me that password.
Dude,
You were on a break.
this tells you. Dude leaves his phone for 1 second on the table and walks outside. And she leaps upon his
And
phone and starts rooting through it.
First of all, I could not imagine a relationship where there's no trust like that. Like, Mrs. Fluxx has the password to my phone and I have the password to her phone, but mostly just because I have like the DoorDash app on my phone and she gets home from work early and wants food. Like, I don't feel the need to go.
I'm sorry,
looking
Mrs.
through-
Fluxx. I'll stop sending those messages to Fluxx now. Sorry. I didn't know you had access to her phone.
I was gonna we talk about this often. I'm like, you had like, if you wanted to. She's like, I don't care. I honestly don't care to go through your phone. I'm like, me either. Because, like, first of all, one, who's gonna be texting our asses? Like, we're tired and we're old salty vets and we stay home. And
Well, this is an interesting thing that we might have to have a conversation with about at a different time. Because the way I was is like, okay, if you're asking for my password, that means you don't trust me from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And so I'm not going
exactly.
to give it to you. Whether you have my phone or not, whether I'm carrying on my phone or not, if I want to cheat on you, I will do it, whether or not I do it on my phone or not.
Exactly.
And if you, that's why I never ask for my ex's phone number. I never ask for girlfriends' passwords. Phone number, passwords. I never ask people for passwords because that's how much I trust them. And I have to have that trust that I don't need your password because I trust you to either be here or get the F out. If you don't want to be.
I take the opposite approach. I give everybody the password to my phone because they're like, here, can I go into your phone for something? I'm like, oh yeah, here's the password. Because I'm just like, unless you're an officer, you will not get my phone. But anybody else, I don't care.
And well, I think both are valid. It's just how you approach the situation.
Exactly.
And
but
I'm definitely the look. If you're asking for my password, that means you don't trust me and get the F out. But also, it's perfectly valid to say the other way is like, hey, I got nothing to hide. Here's my password if you ever want to check it out.
But it's just one of those. I don't understand how you can be in a relationship like this. Like, how do you function in a relationship like that with no trust?
Right.
It's not a relationship. That was never a healthy relationship.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
Like,
snooped around
it's
his
just
phone on prior occasions with his password?
No, because I just had surgery, so I haven't seen him in I haven't seen him in a while.
So you were snooping around because you were.
I wouldn't use the word snoop.
Of course not, because it paints you in a bad
You
light.
were snooping around because you were concerned about him seeing other women down in Miami. Isn't that the bottom line?
The bottom line is he was my boyfriend at the time. I haven't seen him in a month, and I was curious. That's the bottom line.
I was curious.
Snooping.
You didn't want to lose him, right?
Of course not.
And when Travis said that he found Kyla's body more attractive than yours, you became infuriated, right?
No.
You didn't?
Oh, that's the thing. For those of you that missed part 1, that was some of their dynamic shit. She was up in his grill talking shit to him, and then he's like, yeah, this other girl, yeah, she's got a better body than you, she's better than you, she's hotter than you, and then she went ape shit. So that's part of that. So now they're saying, yeah, because he was saying this other chick, she's got a better body, she's better than looking at you. You were jealous, so you wanted to go through his phone, and then we go through this whole FaceTime shit here in a minute.
No.
You weren't upset that he found Kyla more attractive than you?
No.
Liar.
When you saw the text
Did you
from
see the
Kyla,
eye roll though?
Yeah.
you told the jury yesterday it was time for me to go. You remember that?
Correct.
And when you saw the text from Kyla, Travis was still
Valhalla.
outside, right? He was out with his brother. You were looking through his
Yeah.
phone when he was outside.
Correct.
So you waited for Travis to come back into the house to confront him, did you not?
I more so didn't confront him. I just went into the room to grab my things.
So you
What?
didn't walk right out the door, did you?
I went to go grab my things, and he seen his phone on the couch, so he kind of put 2 and 2 together.
Oh,
You waited
she's
for him
such
to come back in so that you could confront him. Isn't that what's happening?
I didn't confront him. He kind of confronted me about the situation because he seen his phone was open.
You wanted to hurt him, and that's why you stayed in the house so that you could confront him and then destroy his property. Did you not?
No, I wanted to
Yes.
grab my things and I wanted to leave.
Oh, see, now this
Why
was
didn't
part
you?
of the deal. This is part of what set it off. He was saying that it's over, get the hell out, come in, get your shit, get out of the house. And then somehow he had apparently prevented her from entering the house, so she laid hands on him to get into the house.
Well, like,
And that's all on video.
this whole line of questioning is so dumb because she's like, oh, he kept screaming at me to get out. I just wanted my things. I just wanted my things. But it's like,
Right. He wants me to get out. He kept telling me to get out, and I wanted to get out, but he wouldn't let me get out, even though he told me to get out. So I snooped through his phone, but I didn't because I was curious. But
and then
et cetera, et
like,
cetera.
and in my mind, I just picture her picking up like one piece of clothing at a time while also screaming at him, like,
Yeah.
I'm getting my things. You're such a broke ass bitch, you piece of shit. While she's picking up like one sock at a time.
Yeah. And Bass says when they did the surgery, they nicked her brain. That's good. I like that. And Voodoo Berry's in the chat. What's up, Voodoo Berries? My pseudo Korean bae. Voodoo Berry's BBLs are about 1 in 2,000 chance of death from things like fat embolism. Unfortunately, she was one of the lucky 1,999. Also, the post-op suits are hilarious with just cheeks cut out. Funny. All right. Wow.
Oh God.
This is why you should have cameras inside the house when you're dating crazy biatches. Yes, or as I call it, the dog cam. Oh dear.
Well, you immediately went off on him, didn't you?
No.
Yesterday, you told the jury I was hurt. I was not angry. You remember that?
Yes.
You were actually very angry, were you not?
I was more so hurt than angry.
But you were also angry, weren't you?
I was more so hurt than angry.
But you were angry.
So you were canning your previous testimony.
Huge ass. Hey, this is a topic just for you. That's insulting Yoda and Strawberry. Yes, I trust Yoda and Strawberry. I just don't trust the cleaning lady. But I do trust this one because she's really good. I just wish he'd stop putting things where they don't go. Grant Sanford says Australia is a lie.
I don't have the energy. Get fucked.
Everybody hurts sometimes. 16 says the subtitles for some reason. I hurt myself today just
Do
to
you remember
see if I
giving
could feel.
testimony under oath on November 8th of 2021?
No,
You don't remember coming to courthouse?
I remember, but you have to kind of refresh my memory
Shut up,
Courthouse,
Valhalla.
right? You were subpoenaed.
for the self.
You were subpoenaed to come to the courthouse, and you gave sworn testimony. Do you remember that?
Was it the deposition? I'm just
Sure.
with
Please stand up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen.
Stand up and scratch? What? I hope he said stretch. All right, so they're doing a sidebar with Judge lurking over. I think I know who he looks like. He looks like the like the guy that if you've seen Billions, he's the guy that from I believe it was the SEC that came in to monitor them. He was in Lucifer. He played one of the characters in Lucifer. He's been in a couple other movies. I believe he was in Supernatural as well. Don't scratch his eyes out. Get that weave done. You need to do better than this. Well, apparently I didn't fix the buffering problem, so whatever. Yeah. We want a pitcher, not a belly itcher. Nice one. Good old Little League baseball chants there. We want a pitcher, not a belly itcher. Great. Yeah.
All right, you may
Yes,
continue.
he played Death on Supernatural. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
On November 8th of 2021.
Yes.
And do you remember being asked similar questions about whether you were angry after you noticed that he was talking with Kayla?
I believe those questions were asked.
And
Asked.
do you remember the question?
The questions were asked. What?
Sustained.
Wasn't the question asked of you, and that made you very angry?
Okay, that's just like Ace Ventura Pet. I want to ask you a question. Speaking of asking questions, I hate to do this to all of you, but you're all degenerate, so you deserve this. This is this is a tweet from Voodoo Berries. Voodoo Berries just tweeted the Brazilian butt lift
Oh God.
picture. This is the recovery suit, I guess, the compression suit that our BBL people
God.
get involved in. All right, everybody, if you don't want to see this, close your eyes in 3, 2, 1.
Oh God.
Huh.
What? What is that?
That's apparently the compression suit that we all have to go in for when we're into the BBL suit. That's, you know.
What do you mean we all?
All right. Thank you very much for that, Buddha Berries. Thankfully, it's the end of my day, so you haven't ruined my appetite. To all of you that haven't eaten breakfast, just picture the witness, not the defendant. Don't picture the defendant. Picture the witness wearing this particular getup. All right. And AA Ron, thank you for becoming a member. Oh, dearie me. AA Ron has joined the Bent Halos and Broken Wings level of memberships. So AA Ron is now my member. And Mo is my newest member. Now Mo is my member. Mo has joined the Clean and Sober. She joined the clean and she's my clean and sober member.
Oh, but
all right.
She's
you go.
She's reading the
can I
Sarah
take this
Boone
picture
letters
down
right
now?
now.
I'm going to take this picture down. It disturbs me.
Mo is reading the Sarah Boone letters right now.
Oh, those are so bad. Oh, and we'll have a Sarah Boone update on Wednesday. She sent more handwritten messages to the judge recently. So
And there's just something about Mo reading them with boxed wine that just makes it.
Oh, like reading. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, like reading it with boxed wine is just
Mo, Twitter me. We might have you on Wednesday. And Stingy, I don't even know what the hell that is. Oh, it's an apple fritter and 2 cake donuts, 2 old-fashioned cake donuts. It just looks disturbing. I don't know why you sent it to me, but okay, I hope it's just your dessert because it's just creeping me out. For the apple fritter and 2 glazed old-fashioned donuts. All right, let's go.
You got to show her the document. Sure.
It's a Mormon sumo outfit. What? Wow, I don't even know what that means, but okay. This is a performance costume from a Village People concert. Christy Reed just says ass, 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 ass. That's a great song by was it 3 Mafia 6? Ass and titties, ass and titties, ass, 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 titty, titty, titties, ass and
Yesterday, you
titties.
told the jury that you
Great
told
song.
Travis
Easy
a
to
million
memorize.
times, I want to leave, and he wouldn't let me go. You remember that?
Yes.
And isn't it, in fact, that he was the one that was actually trying to calm you down?
Not at the beginning, no.
At some point, he was trying to calm you down, wasn't he?
No.
Isn't it true that he was trying to
You
talk
literally
to
just said not at
you?
the beginning.
No, I was trying to get my things and leave, and he was trying to stop me from leaving.
You also used the word that Travis was acting erratic yesterday. You remember that?
Correct.
The fact that you were the one that was actually being erratic.
I would say he started it, and then, yes, I became erratic right after.
So after you saw the text messages from Kayla, you actually had Travis FaceTime her, did you not?
Yes.
Did you FaceTime her, or did you have Travis FaceTime her?
I just put the phone up and pressed FaceTime.
Okay,
So she didn't see me or anything.
And the reason you did that was so that she could only see Travis and you could evaluate or watch the way that Travis was interacting with her. Did you not?
Correct.
Okay. And so what did you, after you saw that interaction, it was your impression that somehow these two
3-6
had a
Mafia, that's what it
relationship,
is.
right?
I wouldn't say relationship, but something was going on, yes.
3-6
More than a
Mafia, not
friendship,
3
right?
Mafia
Mhm.
6.
Is that
Whatever
yes?
the fuck it is.
And that infuriated you as well, right?
3-6 Mafia.
No, I'm not going to use the word infuriated.
You were angry?
More hurt.
So you smashed his iPhone, not out of anger, but because you were hurt?
Yes.
You also picked up the metal trophy on his dresser, and you hit him over the head, did you not?
I did not hit him over the head.
So what'd you do with the metal trophy?
If I hit him over the head with a metal trophy, would you?
What you did instead, not if.
I held the metal trophy up because he was standing in front of the door. I was asking him if I could leave. He said no. So I picked it up and I said, let me leave. And he ended up raising his hands up and he said, okay, you can go.
Right. So you never hit him with the trophy. You never threw the trophy at him.
Never.
Right.
Not at all.
You also took his PlayStation and broke it, did you not?
That was far. Are we going in chronological order or no?
I'm going in, I'm asking questions, you're answering them.
Okay.
The question was, regardless of the chronological order,
I love her.
at some point you took his PlayStation and you smashed it, did you not?
Yes. After I was slammed on the ground, I did.
Okay. So you did all these things not out of anger, but you did them because you were hurt, right?
It got to a point where I was angry, but with the questions that you were asking me, was I infuriated about him saying things about Kayla or the other things you were asking me? That was out of hurt, but it did get to an angry point. Yes, it did.
And that's when he was following you outside and he was in your ear telling you that Kayla had a better body than you, right?
It was more than that. It was the bitch word, the fuck you, it was more than
word?
Yeah,
Which
I want to
bitch
know what the
word
bitch
is
word
that?
is. I want to know what the bitch
word. Which word is the bitch word and which
I wanna
word is
know-
the fuck you word?
I want to know if the bitch word is the whole rifle like long gun.
The
Like,
bitch
is that
word.
the same thing?
He called me the bitch word. Oh dear. People. Wow.
Oh wow, this is intense.
Well, Mo, who I hailed as the newest Legal Vices member, she's been supplanted by
Yes.
Aaron. Aaron Hack is now my member.
Nice.
Welcome to Clean and Sober. Aaron Hack is now my member. And Wolfram says, have you been up all night? Even Ozzy's fallen asleep. I have not been up all night. I started streaming at noon my time. It is now 11 p.m. I've been doing this for 11 hours exactly. So I haven't missed anything. It's just been my vacation day because I love all of you and I want to share it with you. You're my peeps. Fluxx was here. She fell asleep. She woke up. Now she's back. That's how long I've been streaming. And Unhung Hero, who gave Danny her boop stick, and Danny refused. Anyway, how could you ask her so many mean questions? Asks Unhung Hero. All right, let's get back.
Just about a female.
Okay. And isn't it true? Let's talk about the B word. You were calling
mean
him
bitch?
a broke bitch. You were screaming at him out there on the front lawn, were you not?
After he started calling me one first, yeah, I was.
You called him a broke bitch. What did you mean by that? That he has no money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So why was that important? Why the fact that he had no money? Why was that something that was important to you at that point?
It wasn't important to me because I was still dealing with him when he didn't have money.
Okay. But why was that important at that point when you're being
because he's saying low blows to hurt my feelings. So as a reaction as a human, I'm gonna say low blows to hurt his feelings.
So you were pretty fired up at this point, right?
I wasn't really that fired up, but I was upset and I was reacting to what he was saying to me at that point. Yes.
Now, in her defense, was she calling him a broke bitch, like a no money having bitch, or a baroque bitch, like a bitch from the 17th to 18th century?
Oh, I was thinking, or a broke bitch, as in his knees weren't working and he was in rehab.
I was thinking baroque, as in 1700s.
Today before this jury that he compared me to other women.
I have a reason
Remember
for
that?
thinking that way.
So besides Kayla, who else did he compare you to?
It was just, I can't pinpoint names or anything like that. I don't really remember. It was just a lot of different names of who I am, what I am, and things like that.
And that set you off,
That's
right?
the Popeye defense. I am
Didn't
what
set
I
me
am.
off.
That's all
I
that
wanted to go.
am.
It was ready. It was time for me to go. It was just getting too heated.
Well, you saying now you wanted to go, but didn't you tell the jury yesterday? Then Travis said, "Get the F out of my house." Do you remember telling the jury that yesterday?
I told the jury that I had to go get my things.
You told the jury. Then he said, "Get the F out of my house." That's what you told the jury yesterday.
Okay, he might have said that. He said that.
He wanted you out. He wasn't blocking you. He wanted you out of the house.
He wanted me to get out after he told me to go in the house to get my things. So I went into the house to grab my personal items that I brought over there.
Right. He didn't want you there anymore. He wanted you out of his house. That's what you told the jury yesterday.
Okay.
He wasn't keeping you confined in there, was he?
He was.
He wasn't falsely imprisoning you yet on the 6th, was he?
He was keeping me confined in the room. That's why I picked up the trophy.
I don't understand. How can he be yelling
You're
at
not
you?
in chronological order, so you're saying it.
At some point, he told you to get the F out of his house, did he not?
After he held me in the room and was not allowing me to leave.
He wanted absolutely nothing to do with you. Isn't that the fact?
I wanted absolutely nothing to do with him.
And isn't true, you told this jury yesterday that Travis said, "I don't like you anymore." You remember that? You remember telling this to the jury yesterday?
He was saying, I don't necessarily remember him saying those exact words, but he was saying a lot of things. Like I said,
Then why'd you tell the jury yesterday? He said, "I don't like you anymore."
he probably did say that. He was saying a lot of hurtful things.
So he did say that, right?
Okay, so yeah.
All right, so he told you to get the F out of his house and he didn't like you anymore, right?
Okay.
Is that true?
Over a million other words, but yes.
Okay, well, I'm asking you about those specific words, not the other million words that he said.
Yes.
Oh, he said a million words?
Not a million, but he said a lot of other things.
This is brilliant.
And I'm like, this is the literal reason why you do not exaggerate, why you do not add anything to do not exaggerate at all, because this happens.
That is exactly correct. This is a brilliant line of questioning. This is one of these, if I've told you 1,000,000 times, I don't exaggerate.
Mm-hmm.
And this calls into question her credibility.
Mm-hmm.
So did he literally say 1,000,000 times or 1,000,000 words to you? This is great.
Because then she also starts asking specifically, well, if it's 1,000,000 words, what did he say? And if you're exaggerating and lying, it does not look good for you.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay, so yeah.
All right, so he told you to get the F out of his house and he didn't like you anymore, right?
Okay.
Is that true?
Over a million other words, but yes.
Okay, well, I'm asking you about those specific words, not the other million words that he said.
Yes.
So he said 1,000,000 words?
Not 1,000,000, but he said a lot of other
You
things.
just told the jury he said 1,000,000 words. So is that true?
He said a lot of other
I'm
things.
asking you if you're.
He said a lot of other things.
I'm asking you if your testimony right now that he told you 1,000,000 words, if that's an exaggeration or if that's the truth.
Obviously, he didn't say 1,000,000 words,
That's what you just told them.
but he said a lot of other things to me.
Are there other things you've exaggerated about during your testimony?
Not at all. I've been extremely truthful.
So this is the only thing you've exaggerated. That one sentence where he said 1,000,000 words. That is a brilliant line of questioning. That just killed her right there.
Jeff, I do have to duck out. Mrs. Fluxx is summoning me for some stuff. I will try and make it back a little later.
All righty. Thanks, Fluxx. Good morning. Tell
I-
Mrs. Fluxx good morning. Make her join us. Bring her back.
Okay, I'll try and bring her back with me, and I'll still be
Awesome.
listening in the chat.
All right.
See you guys soon. Bye.
See ya. Oh, that is a brilliant line of questioning right there. Just got her to admit she exaggerated and or lied. And that's the only time she's ever done it. She's never lied or exaggerated about anything ever in her entire life. And Cindy Luhu T is now my newest member of the Clean and Sober crew. Congratulations for being my newest member. And we also have to mention that Bella Stella has gifted 5 Legal Vices memberships. If you were one of the lucky recipients of the 5 Legal Vices memberships, please give Bella Stella a great big thank you and a shout out for her and all the awesomeness that she brings. And Unhung Hero asks, why does everyone in this trial have awful hair? Well, because they do. Nice. I love that questioning. That was brilliant questioning.
So despite the fact that he told you these things, you want the jury to believe that he was the one that was blocking you during this event.
Asked and answered, sustained. Next question, please.
Travis, you didn't want to leave because what you were doing was interested in destroying his property, right?
No.
Yesterday, you told the jury, I was saying stuff, but Travis started, right?
Correct.
And isn't it a fact that you were the one that actually started this whole thing by sneaking and looking into his phone?
I didn't sneak and look through the phone if I have the password.
It's still sneaking.
But he didn't tell you could look at his phone, did he?
But if someone gives you something and tells you are allowed to look at it, I don't believe that is called sneaking.
A month and a half
Isn't
later,
it
it's
true
sneaking.
that you were the first person to become physically violent with Travis and not the other way around?
No.
Not at all?
Madam Court Reporter, if we can
When
go
you're
to
in the
transcript.
house, he was already nudging me to get out.
You were the one that was first physically violent, were you not?
If you can play something or show me something, if I can't recall the exact steps of the moments.
Oh, don't challenge her. She'll do it.
Sitting there with her eyes looking up at the ceiling going,
Me.
wonder what she's got on me.
This is November 8th, 2021, 6:75.
She did not ask to look into his phone, so ergo, she was snooping. Exactly. Oh, my cigar went out. And it's all this woman's fault.
Yeah.
Back on November 8th, 2021, you provided a sworn statement. Remember that?
Yes.
You were asked similar questions, the questions that I'm just asking you now.
Yes.
You remember me asking you those questions?
I'm reading. Give me one moment, please.
Okay, there she's talking. I
trying
can
to read it,
barely
I'm
hear
typing.
what she's saying. She's talking about a deposition that was given previously. And when they do that, that means they said something during the under oath depositions that now runs contrary to what she's saying now.
Okay.
Question. Okay, so you were the first one to become physically violent with Travis, not the other way around. Answer. Correct.
Yes, that's correct.
You remember that? Yes. So you were the first one to become physically violent with Travis, right?
Mhm.
That's what you told us.
Okay, she just admitted again that she was the first one to become physically violent, which can help the defense make a case for self-defense. She was the first one to become violent.
And it also is not a great look for her,
Yes.
given that she specifically just said, well, if you say that, show
Saying
me.
That's not.
I didn't say that. I said I didn't remember. I said if you can show me something to recall in my memory. I just said that.
Yeah, you do remember that you were
Right.
the one that started being physically violent with him.
Yes, after he started calling me names in my face, running me down. Yes, I tried to push
None
him
of which
away
is an
from me.
excuse.
You may.
Yeah, he was saying mean things, so I got physical with him. Yeeks.
Yesterday, you testified to this jury on direct examination that Travis manhandled you, right?
Yes.
You've also testified that he picked you up off your feet and slammed you to the ground 2 times. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
So he literally picked you up off your feet and then slammed you to the ground on 2 occasions.
Correct.
And
Let's go
you
to the tape.
testified that he was disrespectful yesterday. That's the moral of the story. Is that correct?
Correct.
Isn't the moral of the story is that you sent your brother and his friends to go kill Travis?
No, the moral of the story is him putting his hands on me. That is really the basis of everything. And I didn't send my brothers to kill him.
You just sent a text to go shoot up his shit, right?
I didn't say shoot him.
You sent a text.
That's literally her defense. The defense of this line of questioning. That's her explanation. I sent a text to my brother to go shoot up his shit, but I didn't say shoot him. I just said shoot up his shit. That's, again, not a very good look.
Yeah, because saying go and shoot up his property is not much better.
But she didn't say shoot him, just his property. Oh, my God. Stingy, thank you so much for the super chat. Says membership should count towards Doggo Cam. Well, they should, but they don't. Anna 1 or Anna I, we haven't decided yet because it's that vague text. Okay, I was wrong yesterday when I said I couldn't listen again. Hearing y'all's reaction to this BS makes the pain of hearing her speak tolerable. Well, thank you very much for that. I like to be just tolerable. Man, this is not a good witness. This is really, really bad. Mac Turner says, shoot up his shit. Wait, where'd he go? Oh, we just refreshed. There we go. Means go shoot his house, which could kill a kid. This woman should be arrested and tried for that. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. It's the letter I. Okay, Anna I. We have that worked out. I won't remember it next time, but I'll try.
To go shoot up his shit, right?
Correct.
Tell the jury what the shit
The
is.
defendant is her boyfriend.
When you're angry, you say things. I'm sure everyone in this courtroom has said something when you're. I'm trying to speak. If you want me to answer your question, you have to let me answer your question.
Oh,
responsive to my
No, she doesn't.
All right.
If there's no question
Answer the
pending, you
question,
can fuck right off.
Okay. Can you repeat your question?
Question was shit. What does shit mean in the context of that text?
I love this. I have never heard a judge say that in my life. I love the judge going, the question is shit. What does shit mean? I love the judge. The question is shit. See, now we have to go back. Now we have to buffer because I made the mistake of trying to go back in time. I fucked with the space-time continuum. Here we go. Here's the judge. The question is shit.
Question was shit. What does shit mean in the context of that text?
I love that.
Anything but him.
Oh, fuck off.
So it could have been.
Yes. So
his brother.
literally shoot everything. Just don't shoot him. Shoot his shit. Shit means everything but him. Shoot everything, but don't shoot him.
If he's standing in front of his house, there should be a him-shaped outline of bullets around him.
Yes. And also the thing is, she was just being hyperbolic. She didn't mean this. She said, I didn't really mean shoot his shit. I was just saying this it was just hyperbole. So I didn't mean they should shoot anything, but I mean, if they're going to, they should shoot everything but him. So she meant it, but she didn't. Yikes.
No.
It could have been the house.
Nothing violent toward a person.
It could have been his mother's house, right?
I was upset and my adrenaline was running and I said something that I didn't mean. That's the bottom line of that. I didn't mean for him to do, for my brothers to do any of that. That's why when my brother left the house, he did not have a firearm on him.
But you're not answering my question again.
Okay.
You told the jury that shit meant anything other than a person, right? That's what you just told them. You remember that?
Okay. Can I clarify the jury?
No.
Okay.
Didn't you just tell the jury that shit meant anything other than a person? Yes or no?
I would like to clarify that.
Well, answer yes or no.
It's a
and then you
yes
can
or
clarify.
no.
Did you not just tell them that?
I did tell them that, but I want
All
to
right.
clarify what I mean.
Okay.
When I said that, I was upset. I was angry and I said something that I didn't mean. My adrenaline was running. I am clarifying my answer. Am I not?
Go ahead,
No.
finish.
So I was upset and I ended up saying something that I didn't mean. Like people say things when they're upset that they don't mean all the time. But since the situation has happened, it obviously blew up 20 times more. But I didn't necessarily mean for anything to happen to Travis's family, his house, or anything. It was like my second home. I would not want anything to happen there.
You just said.
So again, when you just told the jury that when you sent the text to go shoot up his shit, to shoot meant anything other than a person.
I just clarified my answer to the jury.
I'm asking, isn't that what you just told them?
Sustain. Next question, please.
Isn't it true that when you left his house,
Oh, it's always
That-
good getting handed a note mid-question too.
he didn't slam you to the ground? Well, he didn't lift you up off your feet and slam you to the ground, that you actually tripped and fell.
I didn't trip and fall.
Isn't it true that Travis put his foot out and you tripped over his foot and you fell?
No, that's not true.
So you're telling this jury that the video that we saw from the Ring camera shows him picking you up off your feet and slamming you to the ground.
You can barely see it because Daryl's in the way.
So it's the video does
The
That's a
video
car
that
shit.
the video that we seen yesterday, you can barely see the full physical between me and Travis.
but the video is the video, right?
Correct, but nightly,
You're not suggesting to the jury that that video was tampered with, right?
no, not at all. But I'm just saying the angle of it wasn't. You couldn't see the full testimony of what I'm saying.
Well, we saw you.
Hmm.
Is that a yes?
Correct.
We saw Travis, right?
Yes,
We saw you fall to the ground, right?
and you saw Daryl in front of the entire thing.
And we saw you on the ground, right?
Correct.
We saw you jump right back up, right?
Correct.
And then we saw you storm into the house, right?
Yes, he was saying to get my things.
You told Keyshawn that Travis slammed you to the ground 2 times, right?
Correct.
You also told the police that Travis slammed you to the ground several times, right?
Correct.
You also told Tyler that Travis slammed you to the ground a couple times.
Correct.
And you also told that to Tierney and Linda, right?
Correct.
And to be clear, Tierney is Tierney Coleman, Travis's sister,
Correct.
and Linda is his mom, right?
Correct.
So you told basically everyone that night that he picked you up off your feet and slammed you to the ground.
Correct.
2 times.
Now, on the video we saw, you ran or you went back in the house for the purpose of getting your tequila bottle, right?
I was grabbing all my things. I think I still had things on the couch as well.
One of the things you went back into the house to grab was your tequila bottle, was it not?
Correct.
All right,
That was what you
now
had bought
defense
early that
lawyer,
evening.
Correct.
That was your
I
bottle,
can
not Travis's,
that's a
right?
reasonable thing to run in and
And
grab.
Isn't it a fact that you started hitting him? And we saw that on the video yesterday, that you started hitting him with your fists,
Yes.
right? And you were slapping him, were you not?
I don't think I slapped him, but I did like throw a punch or 2, at him so I can go in there and get my stuff. He wasn't letting me.
Okay, so he was physically holding you and not letting you go in?
He was blocking me from going in. He's telling me to get my
Oh,
things. I'm going in there to get my things. Then
You're
he's blocking
running,
me
so
saying
you
like back
threw
up.
some
And
punches.
he never raised a hand and touched you, did he not?
Yeah, he was raising his hand the whole time, like grabbing me, pushing me back. Yeah, the whole time.
Okay, so did he punch you?
No, he didn't punch me.
Did he slap you?
No, he didn't slap me.
Did he pick up any objects and hit you over the head with them?
No.
So other than standing there, right? And he did absolutely nothing else to you.
Just like a physical altercation without punching or slapping or anything like that. Just the grabbing me up and DJ trying to grab him. It was
A physical altercation without the punching and slapping, but 2 body slams. Was she body slammed or not? She said body slammed. He threw me to the ground 2 times. Now it's like it's just grabbing. It's just not punching or slapping or apparently body slamming. This bitch is crazy. But again, like Hayden, are you just frozen or broken? One of the 2. Okay, you
Broken.
blinked. You're just broken. Okay, I was like, I didn't know if you're frozen or just broken, but you blinked, so I know you're just broken. All right. Now, in fairness,
Chocolate-coated Amber Hood.
nice. In fairness, the fact that she's saying all this shit, that she's lying, that she's mischaracterizing or not remembering how she was punched, kicked, slapped, body slammed, or not body slammed, none of this goes directly to whether or not he committed the crime. So it's impeaching her, it's calling into question her credibility for sure. But let's just keep an open mind and let's just see how this plays out.
Where was he grabbing you? Was he grabbing you by the hair?
just like by my shoulders, but like by my arms, like trying to get out, things like that.
Even though he's the one that told you to get the F out of his house, right?
No, he told me to go in there and get my stuff.
And
He
get the
wanted
F
you
out.
He wanted you out of there,
And I was leaving with my things that I brought.
including your bottle.
It doesn't matter about the
Why did you
bottle, but
feel
I
like
wanted
you
my
were
actual
attacking on the
clothes
way
and
out?
things that I brought because I used to sleep over there all the time.
Well, it doesn't matter about your bottle because when you did leave the house eventually, you took that bottle, hit him over the head.
Sustained.
Isn't it true that after you left the house, you picked up a brick outside on the lawn?
I picked up a lot of things and I threw a lot of things. I'm not 100% sure about everything, but I was throwing things. Yes.
And you picked up that brick. It was your intent to smash Travis's car window, was it not?
It wasn't my intention. I was just frustrated and angry and I was throwing things.
I was just picking up a random brick and throwing things, but it wasn't my intention to damage anything he owned.
I was just throwing a bitch ass, grown ass toddler tantrum because I wasn't getting my own way, so I was throwing anything and everything I could get my hands on at anything in the vicinity. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Stephen Cooper with a $2 super chat says, why is Drex not in here? Well, I have messaged Drex, actually. He's just not responding. He must be busy and doing other things on his holiday Monday. But if there is an answer, you'll be the first to know. Unhung Hero says, can she be liable for this at least partially? Yes, but
It's looking more and more like it.
the state is making him out to be the perpetrator. She's a victim in the eyes of the state. They can't say she is starting all of this, she is causing all of this, but this guy is guilty because it makes them look bad. They have to protect themselves in their case. So that's why I think that's why nobody's been charged, is because if they start charging their own witnesses, it just looks really, really bad. Benjamin Lewis, based on what she said, Lil Mama guilty of murder. Again, that's just what I just said. Given her, could a charge of commissioning a hit apply? Not really. She could explain it away, like she's trying to explain it away here. Like I said, if they go charging all of their witnesses with crimes of starting all of this, instigating it, being the prime mover, so to speak, it makes them look bad. So yeah, don't look for any of these people to be prosecuted unless the jury comes back with a not guilty verdict. Then there might be a discussion.
Including the brick, right?
Correct.
Okay. Why do you want to smash his car window?
Like I said, it wasn't intentional. I was just throwing things because I was upset.
And when you were throwing things, you were also screaming things at him, like you were going to send your brother Keyshawn over to kill him, right?
Never, ever, ever said the word kill at all.
Okay, so when you were yelling at him, telling him that you're sending your brother Keyshawn over, it was just to shoot up his shit?
She doesn't seem to gather
that
that
message
just
yesterday.
randomly throwing shit
Screaming and yelling
is
at him while you were
reckless
still at
damage
his
of
house.
property.
And telling him
Which
to
is
just
still a
send Keyshawn
crime.
over. What
Yeah.
exactly did
I
you
never threatened him. The messages between me and my brother were only between me and my brother. They have never seen those messages, and so everything has came out.
Good
This
point,
thing,
actually.
You're aware that Travis's car window was smashed, right?
Correct.
Did you do it?
Yes.
When did you do it?
Right before I left.
While Travis was still outside?
I don't know if he was outside or inside, but he was still outside yelling.
Okay, so we saw some video yesterday after you left.
Mhm.
Travis is still outside. You remember that?
Yeah.
So your testimony is that while he's outside, you smashed his car window, right?
No, I wasn't there at that point. I think I was already on my way home at that point because I didn't see those videos when he came outside with no shirt on and all that. That was my first time seeing that.
So when did you exactly smash it? After you were on the lawn, picked up the brick, DJ and Travis came, they took the brick away from you. You remember that?
Correct.
And then you got in your car and you left. Did you not?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So you didn't break the car window at that point, right?
I was throwing things, so it could have hit it at that point.
So it's possible that you hit it at.
Stop saying
while
hit it and
Travis
smashed
was
when
still
you're talking
outside,
to her.
or
It
had you
creeps
gone
me
back
out.
in the house?
I'm not sure.
You also, when you left the house, you called your brother Keyshawn. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay, and you were still crying and upset when you called him, right?
Yes.
And then you also called Tyler Robinson when you left Travis's house, did you not?
Yes.
And you were crying and upset at that point as well.
Yes.
And you told both of them.
Okay, now this actually lends a little bit of credence to the state's case, because the previous witness, her brother, was saying, I don't know why my friends showed up at my house. Now she's just testified she called his friend and talked about this. So this actually lends a little bit of credence to the state's argument that all, this wasn't a planned thing. It was a thing it was, they were. So I like her answer there. What do you think? What do you think, Aussie? Am I crazy?
No, look, I can understand that, but still, the brother still doesn't have any credibility as far as I'm concerned, because the whole thing about him swearing black and blue that she wasn't there. Like, I'm sorry, but and then going on about, I don't recall, and then as soon as it's something that's favorable to him, having a crystal clean memory, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, UK LSA Uxlaw says she looks like Michael Jackson. No, nah, well, kind of. I mean, she looks like Janet Jackson in the Chunky days, maybe. Wolfram, even the broken baker said she's too cray that he can't fix her. I don't know who the broken baker is, but that's like several people have mentioned this, and so he apparently is a man with bad judgment and taste, but I respect him. John H. She's just trying to talk dirty to you, Jeff. Moving right along.
Them that
Ebony Hurt. Oh no! Don't say that. Go away. John Gary, go away. Mini Lizzo. Well, define mini. All right, here we are halfway to Doggo Cam. That's just a random announcement because we don't grift for super chats here. Cough, cough.
Travis had picked you up and slammed you to the ground, right?
Yes.
And that he had disrespected you.
Yes.
And you also sent a text message to Keyshawn at roughly 9:45 that Travis dropped you to the ground. Do you remember that?
Yep.
And in response to that text message, Keyshawn sent a group text message to you and Tyler Robinson that Travis is a dead man walking. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's the message that you deleted from your phone, right?
Yes.
No, I deleted the shoot his shit up message.
And you also deleted the dead man
So you're still
walking.
admitting to.
Oh,
just
I'm not
deleting
sure. I don't
evidence.
remember if I did or not.
Why did you delete messages so that this jury couldn't see them?
It is argumentative phrase that way. Rephrase, please.
Why
Sustained.
would you delete evidence so that it's not available for the jury to see?
The evidence wasn't deleted for the jury not to see because clearly I'm standing up here right now and I'm admitting that I did delete the messages and I'm confessing
That
that
doesn't change
I
the
did
fact.
turn my phone into the police enforcement. It wasn't for the jury not to see. After all these actions have happened, you have to understand how that looks. It looks ridiculous. Beforehand, if nothing like that happened, it would have just been words that were said. People say things when they're mad, their adrenaline is running all the time. So that is the reason why I deleted them after I came to the conclusion that there was a shooting.
And you were concerned about that. You had a guilty conscience, did you not?
I still have a guilty conscience to this day, and I will say that.
Ruh-roh.
Uh-huh.
I deleted it because I had a guilty conscience because someone actually shot someone, like I said. Shit happened and I might have caused it and I felt guilty and I still feel guilty, so I deleted the messages. Ruh-roh.
To the jury, to everybody in here. Of course I do. That was never my intentions for no one to die or
No, you
for
were on that stand 'cause
even
you got
for him
backed
to be
into a
standing over there right
fucking
now.
corner.
Go shoot it up, whatever the shit was, right?
Like I said, I made a terrible choice of words during that time.
Yes,
I was
you
23.
did.
I was young. I was dumb. I made a very, very bad decision when I said those words.
Yeah, she was young, she was dumb, she was stupid 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
She was young 2 years ago. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Wolfram, the broken baker I almost said Neanderthal, is a Netherlands attorney who was in MLS Law's chat during the Letitia Stotch case. He kept saying he could fix her, cray. Well, Valhalla keeps saying he can fix any of these people on my stream, so I guess they're kind of the same.
But it was never my intentions.
You deleted those text messages because you know that they were incriminating. Right?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I
You
deleted
just said
those
'cause you knew it looked
text
bad.
messages because it actually happened and I was confused and
What actually happened?
Travis shot at them.
Okay.
So I immediately thought in my head, they're gonna think this is I planned something. Like that's immediate.
Yeah. They're going to think you planned something because you did. And it didn't go the way you wanted it. Holy crap. This
Quiet
is
part out
bad.
loud. She said the quiet part out loud.
Exactly. Oh, my Lord. But again, this does not mean he did not commit first-degree murder. Because as the prosecution is saying, and as we have to keep in mind, as we have to consider, self-defense, murder begins where self-defense ends. If at some point, even if she did send someone over there to shoot him up, to beat him up, to do whatever, even if she did throw bricks at his car, smash him in the head with something, if they all separate themselves, if the threat is ended, if it all goes away and it goes back to a default, there is no longer a threat against his life, he doesn't have the right to do this. So the defense is at least going to have to give us a reasonable explanation as to why the threat of personal bodily harm and or death to him or his loved ones was a thing.
Immediately what I thought in my head.
You were worried about you getting
Yes, Mega
arrested and
Johnny,
you
it
getting
is.
in trouble and setting this whole thing into motion.
No, I was worried about saying the wrong thing and it actually something coming out of it. That's what I was worried about.
And you deleted
Kind of like what really happened.
Correct. And when I was asked for it, I gave it to them.
Well, after you deleted those text messages before you gave your phone to Detective Vanderland.
And Detective Vanderland asked me, did you delete anything out of your phone?
I'm not asking you what she said. My question was
Boom.
that you deleted those text messages before you gave your phone to law enforcement. Is that correct?
Correct.
And those text messages were never found on your phone because you deleted them. Is that not correct?
I don't know that.
And the only reason that we have those text messages is because they were found on your brother's phone, on Keyshawn's phone.
If you know, do you know?
No, I don't know.
So
If you
to
know,
this
you
day, as
know.
sit here, you have no clue how those text messages were discovered by law enforcement because we know
No.
they weren't on your phone, right?
No, I don't know how.
Oh man. Yikes.
You knew at the time of this incident that your brother owned a gun, right?
Correct.
That was a 9mm Glock.
Correct.
And you also knew that he had owned other guns over a course of time. Did you not?
I knew he had his license to carry.
I didn't ask about his license
And
to carry. My question was, you knew that he also had other guns during the course of the time that he first bought his first gun. He had owned other guns besides that Glock. That was my question, not his concealed weapons permit.
She's argumentative.
What's the objection, please? All right, rephrase it is.
You knew that your brother owned at the time of the incident one gun. Is that correct? A Glock?
Correct.
That's your testimony?
Correct.
But he also owned other guns, right?
I'm not sure during his time of how many guns. I don't.
Well, are you aware that he had a 9mm Taurus that he sold to Tyler Robinson?
Yes.
What other guns are you aware of that your brother had and sold?
The gun that you just mentioned. I know he sold that to Tyler.
Okay, so you're only aware of the weapons that the defense is aware
Aware
of.
that he had a 380 that he purchased and sold?
No.
Another one.
You knew that Tyler Robinson also, at the time of the incident, owned a gun, the Taurus 9mm. Did you not?
No.
The gun that your brother sold, you weren't aware that Tyler still.
I'm not aware of the exact transaction, when the transaction happened, how many days. I'm not aware of that. But yes, I am aware that the gun was sold to Tyler.
And you're aware that Tyler Robinson discovered Simpson. Tyler Robinson, in fact, did take a gun with him to Travis Rudolph's house, right? If you know.
If you know.
Didn't know that.
So to this day, as you're sitting here, you're telling this jury. Hold on. You're telling this jury as you sit here today under oath that this is the first time you're hearing that Tyler Robinson brought a gun with him to Travis Rudolph's house. Is that what you're telling the jury?
No.
So when did you learn that Tyler Robinson brought a gun to Travis Rudolph's house?
I can't remember the exact time I learned.
You know that now, right?
Right.
Right?
Yes, I know that now.
There you go.
So you tell Tyler. and
Tyler
your brother
Robinson
to
is
go
her
shoot shit up,
brother's
Tyler Robinson
friend that
actually brought a
participated
gun
in
to
the
his house,
shooting.
right? Is that a yes?
Yes.
He took a couple
Have
bullets.
you ever asked Tyler Robinson why he brought his gun there?
He says he carries his
The
gun.
question is, did you ask him?
No, I never asked him.
You were just going to give an answer. So which
Tyler Robinson isn't the
You
dead
didn't let
guy.
me, so you
Tyler
choose.
Robinson took 3 bullets and
Jones,
survived.
Just answer.
Sorry.
Question was.
What was the question?
Question was, did you ever ask him?
No.
Okay, next question.
Is the way you talk to me, is that the way you talk to Travis?
How am I talking to you? I feel like I'm being respectful.
Okay. So you just made a comment to me.
Sustain.
Oh, fuck. Get back to the question. Circle back to it.
Oh, is
You
he
didn't
the
call the
the
police that
popcorn
night
face?
to report that Travis Rudolph
No.
picked you
No,
up
he's
by
not.
your feet and slammed you to the ground 2 times, committing a battery on you, right?
No.
You were battered though, right? That's your testimony.
Correct.
Your testimony is also that you were basically falsely imprisoned and held against your will. Did you call the police to tell them that?
No.
Instead, you drove home, right?
Correct.
To Delray?
Yes.
And Keyshawn
She was
there?
held against her will, but she drove home. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch. All right, folks, we currently have 640 concurrent viewers, 446 likes. It's time for the 2-hour griftathon. Please make sure you hit that like button. We've got 200 of you that haven't done your job, at least 200 of you that haven't done your job. Please do that. When we get up to 600 likes, that tells YouTube, that kind of seems to be the trigger mark for their algorithm that says, hey, people are seriously interested in this because there's at least 600 likes. Like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. This is what we do. We cover trials, we cover other things. Coming up tomorrow, we have Law and Lumber, who is famous from the Amber Heard trial for debunking her claims about the bed that she had her face stuffed in and whatnot. And then Wednesday, we're going to be doing a bunch of updates on a bunch of outstanding trials. Sarah Boone, Taylor Shabusiness, Courtney Clenny, Leilani, what's her face, that she did some really horrific things to her child, and killed her child allegedly, and a bunch of other cases. We're going to be talking about Karen Reed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to be doing an update on this. We got a lot of things going. So that's what we do here. And then Thursday is going to be OJ Simpson Day. We always take one day a week. We go and look at OJ Simpson stuff. And then Friday is Drex. If you don't know who Drex is, you do not want to miss Friday. So like and subscribe to me, and make sure you go over to Aussie Overlawd, who is killing it these days. Somehow he won't divulge his secrets, how he's blowing up with nearly 10,000 subscribers in 1 week. I'm still trying to find the mystery to that. He won't divulge to anyone. He's playing it close to his chest. Make sure we go there and like and subscribe to Aussie Overlawd. And take our like and subscribe poll, which was, did you smash the like and subscribe buttons? Once you've liked this stream, made sure you're subscribed to me and Aussie Overlawd. Come back and take our poll. Currently, 12% of you have said you hit the like and smash buttons because you're not a witness. 14% of you said yes, shoot. 27% of you said yes, but it's Fluxx's fault. And 46% of you said yes, it would be murderous not to. Thank you so much. And Aaron Hack, one of our new members, one of my new members, has gifted 10 Legal Vices memberships. So please make sure you give our newest member, well, one of our newest members, Aaron Hack, a great thank you if you were one of the recipients of the 10 Legal Vices memberships. And Unhung Hero with a $2 super chat says, may have been young, but is still dumb. Yes, she was so young 2 years ago when she was 21 years old. All right, let's jump back into this.
And you were crying and upset?
I kind of calmed down by the time I got there.
All right. And you and Keyshawn had a conversation about what had happened, right?
Yes.
And you testified yesterday on direct examination that Keyshawn told me I was overly tripping. It's not serious.
Both of us, not just me.
Who?
Me and Travis, like we're both overly tripping. It
What
wasn't
does
that serious.
overly tripping mean?
Just meaning in relationships, sometimes things get out of hand for no reason.
Oh, out of
and
hand.
an outsider can see better than
Don't say.
me and him inside the relationship.
So you told the jury that Keyshawn told you that, right?
Correct.
So your brother is telling you basically that this wasn't that serious, right?
And yeah, he was going to just go over there and speak with him. Correct.
It was that he told you that this wasn't serious, right?
I said yes.
So you didn't have any bruises or scratches on your face, right?
No, but I did have injury.
You didn't have any bruises or scratches to your arm, did you?
No.
You didn't have any bruises or scratches on your neck, right?
No, but I did just have
Any bruises or scratches on your back, right?
She's not going to let you finish the sentence, just yes or no.
Mm-hmm. As it should be.
You would agree, Ms. Jones, that you don't need to bring 3 men with you if you're just going to go talk to somebody?
3 men and a lady. See, that's interesting because she said bring with you.
You testified that you were the one that told Keyshawn to go talk to him, right?
correct.
So it wasn't Keyshawn saying, I'm going to go be your protector and take care of this. You're the one that encouraged him to go do that, right?
No, when I told him what happened, he instantly is like, I'm gonna go talk to Travis.
You just told this jury that it was you who told him to go talk to him. That's what you told this jury yesterday. That's what you just answered, and now you're changing your answer. So which?
I'm not changing my answer at all.
Kind of are.
Me and him had a mutual conversation, and the mutual conversation was I told him what happened. He said he was going to go speak with them, and I agreed.
Yesterday, you told this jury that you're the one that told him to go talk to Travis.
Like I said, it was a mutual. I told him to go talk to them, and he said he was going to already on his own.
After you told him to go do it, right? That's what you told this jury yesterday.
Overrule.
Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay. After the shooting took place, Chris Lowe and Keyshawn FaceTimed you, isn't that correct?
Correct.
And that FaceTime call was made before you got to the hospital and gave your statement to Detective Ema. You remember?
No, I was already at the hospital when they called me.
But that call was made before you gave your statement to Detective Ema.
Correct.
So before you gave your first sworn statement to law enforcement, you had already spoken with Chadlow and your brother about what happened, right?
Incorrect. The conversation was more of him crying, saying he thinks Sebastian died. It was more of an emotional conversation. It wasn't a sit down and let's discuss exactly what happened.
Well, they told you that Sebastian had died, right?
Correct.
They told you that Tyler told you he had a gun, right?
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding your question.
Didn't you also become aware that Tyler Robinson had a gun that night with him at that point?
Not at that moment, no.
So they only told you that Sebastian died and you didn't ask, oh my God, how? What happened? Tell me how this could have occurred.
It was an emotional moment. They're speaking with law enforcement. I'm at the hospital with Tyler's mom. There's not really much conversation on the table to discuss what happened.
You know, one person's dead. You know, another person's wounded.
Correct.
You're not curious or asking questions about how this happened.
No, I am. I called Daryl.
Who?
DJ, Travis's brother. I called him.
I'm talking about DJ.
But you're asking me if I was curious. So I said, yes, I was. I called the person who I called.
Curious when you were speaking with Chris Lowe and Keyshawn is my question.
No, because they were emotional. They're crying. They're distraught. They're not in the right state of mind. So I wasn't asking them personal questions like that.
You've already testified that you FaceTimed with your brother and Keyshawn right after the shooting, right?
Well, Keyshawn's my brother. So Keyshawn and Chris.
Keyshawn and Chris, yes. You testified that you already FaceTimed and you already spoke about it right after the shooting, right?
We didn't really speak that much about the exact shooting is what I'm
Yes,
trying
no
to say.
question.
It was more of a Sebastian. He thinks Sebastian's dead. He was crying, things like that.
And around 2:45 in the morning, you actually gave us a sworn statement to a detective that was at the hospital. Is that correct?
Correct.
That was Detective Ema. Is that right?
Yes.
And you didn't tell Detective Ema at 2:45 that morning, while you were giving your sworn statement under oath, subject to perjury, that you told Keyshawn to go shoot up his shit, right?
I don't remember the exact. That was the very, very first statement I ever gave him. I don't remember exactly what I said.
You never told him about the text message to go shoot up his shit, did you?
I don't recall.
How come none of these people can recall
Did
important
you ever tell
events?
Detective Ema that Keyshawn
Because it would be
texted you
devastating
and
to their
Tyler
case.
back that Travis was a dead man walking? Do you remember ever telling him that?
I don't recall.
Is it true that you didn't?
I don't recall.
Please have the deposition there. Please have the deposition there.
Crickets. Is she smelling burnt toast? And she's stroking out. Well, while they're doing that, Unhung Hero says, oh, we already did that one. May have been young, but still dumb. Stingy. His ADA perks coming through finally. That's out. Caligula says, I don't recall. Thank you so much, Caligula, for your super chat. And the others as well.
Of what transcript? Thank you.
What's the page number? I'm sorry.
130. Yes. You look at lines
She's sounding out the words.
11 through 17.
And while she's sounding out the words, Brad Best, member for 8 months of the Clean and Sober crew, says, I love the cool hats you always wear. I think I remember hearing you got one of them custom made in Alberta, Canada. I'm just curious where you get them from. I do not have a hat from Alberta, Canada. All of my Western cowboy hats come from millerhats.com. My flat caps come from the Aran Sweater Market in Ireland. And my I do have one hat that was custom made by Y Hats in Spain.
Okay.
And the others are just like baseball caps and knit caps and things like that.
No, this is exactly what I just said to you.
And it's true that I was asking you questions during that statement in November That are similar to the questions I just asked you now, right? About whether you shared with Detective Ema.
Chubby Rob says Vices is nothing but a grifter. You said it 4 times. You really only need to send it once because, you know, hey,
Well, technically it is,
absolutely.
but I'm going to allow it. Go ahead.
Thank you for acknowledging that. I am a grifter. Oh, when he keeps saying it, if you keep saying it, then I have to block you. I have to time you out first of all. I'll give you a couple strikes.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
And I said I didn't remember. I don't recall.
So now you recall that?
Yeah. Now that I'm reading it, you have to remember this is a year or 2 ago, so my memory is a little bit more fresher back then. So if you can show me something, I have no problem owning up to it. So yes, here I did say no.
So you never told Detective Ema about the text messages. Is that correct?
No, me and Detective Ema, but I believe our conversation was extremely short.
Nothing.
Did you tell Detective Ema
Because it gets me
that
cash.
Tyler Robinson
Bitches.
had a gun?
It's jealousy.
I don't remember if I told him that or not because I don't
All
think
right.
I knew he had one or not.
My timeout
at that
fingers
moment.
getting weary. We're gonna put this on the members, on the subscribers only. Thanks, bots.
Did you
It
tell
is true.
Detective
I'm
Ema
nothing
that
but a grifter.
You
Grifty,
told
grifty,
Linda
grifty me.
there was going to be trouble? You remember making
I don't remember.
Why y'all gotta be this way? Yatch.
You have November 8th statement there?
What
Yes,
page?
it still does.
Okay, page 131. If you would look, lines 20, 23.
I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, those are bots.
You didn't tell Detective Emma that.
No, those weren't sex
Okay.
bots. Those were just grift bots.
What happened? What you said to him?
Not really, but Keyshawn was.
My question is,
No, it doesn't.
my question was that you didn't tell Detective Ema about Linda, that you had spoken to her, and that you told her there was going to be trouble, right?
At this moment in time when I'm talking to this detective, I'm just learning and finding out about everything that's going on. I might have missed a lot of details that I then came forth and spoke about, but you're asking me nitty gritty details that at the time when I'm speaking to a detective, I'm not going to remember or recall because I'm just not finding out someone died.
And someone said tell Vices about mods. We've got our mods here. We're modded up sufficiently. Joe Choi is here. Corn Pop's here. We just got a new mod added as well. And Jenny B in the house. Jenny B is our newest mod. So yeah, we've got mods. Don't worry. Anyway, let's continue. It's kind of fun.
Details that you left out to Detective Ema were nitty gritty.
I'm not saying nitty gritty, but there are details. But I'm speaking on a death at the point when I'm talking to the detective. Someone's dead. I'm not really worried about what text I sent or what text someone else sent. When it came time for us to speak on that, I spoke on that. And I was 100% honest about everything that I had said. But during the time where I'm just finding out somebody who's very close to me has passed away, that's the least thing on my mind at the moment. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Ema was asking you very specific questions, right?
Right.
Not necessarily.
Were you just rambling and just going freestyle?
I was kind of rambling and just saying from what I know like has happened from the night.
Freestyle.
Okay, well, his statement started at 2:44 a.m. and ended at 3 o'clock. So it was roughly
15 minutes.
20 minutes or so.
That's what I'm saying. That's not really. I'm fine.
And
Like,
during the course of that statement, he asked you a number of questions, right?
All right. Feel free to stand up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen, but please remember and obey at least 3 of the 4 cardinal rules.
What?
Is inapplicable at this point.
At least 3 of the 4. All right, Hayden, what do you got for us? What's the current state of the of affairs right now? How are things going? Oh, he's still not here. All right, he said he would be right back. He went somewhere. All right, well, I guess it's all up to me. She's not doing well. that's the general thing. She's this testimony is not going well for her. Yeah. Man. All right, let's check this here. Hugh Jass says German Shepherd's again a German Shepherd. Yeah, that's just kind of the way it goes. And Joel Rice says Jeff's a grifter. Better give him money. Absolutely, because that's the whole purpose of my existence. Bot Scott Hayden again. This trial is not live. This is
May continue,
this is day 2. They've done day 3. We're going to continue to try to catch up. We're going to do our best to stay as close to actual time as we can. We're doing this delayed because Fluxx brought this to my attention.
So apparently there's a request for a
during day
restroom break,
2.
and that's fine. We've been at this for a while today so far. So now remember to obey the 4 cardinal rules. Again, cardinal rule number 4 isn't going to be applicable because you all will be in the jury room. But remember, no discussion about the case, no research, and keep an open mind. We'll take, I know there are only 2 restrooms in there, and I don't know how many folks have to use them. So let's be back at 5 minutes after 11. I think that's probably long enough. 5 minutes after 11, folks. All right.
I don't know what that means, so let me just kind of fast forward through here. All right, there we go.
Anyone to think that I'm not paying close attention because I have a laptop up here, I'm just keeping track of the warrants that are coming in, and then we.
Like that, someone might be criticizing the judge for having a laptop, but he's just checking warrants that are coming in. Cry havoc. I can't do a Richard's voice right now. I'm too amped up. You got to be laconical and laid back to do the Richard voice. Cry havoc and let sleep the hounds of war. Yeah, I can't do a Richard's voice, but yeah. At some other, like, we are now entering my 12th hour of streaming. Maybe 10 hours ago, I could have done a Richard's voice, but cry havoc and release and let slip the hounds of war. That's the best I can do right now. My apologies. Thank you, Wolfram, for that. That's all we're gonna get. Examoon says the bots are detractors, which are former fans that grow a hatred towards content creators. DSP had hundreds of them who run bots. As far as I know, Nick has dozens of that do the same at League of Ice. I know that bots are fun. But see, that's why you set it to subscribers only, so they have to subscribe to your channel to bot you. All right. Anywho, we have fast forwarded through time. The judge, I can only take so much of this woman. Let's take a pee break. Exactly. There we go. We're back. The jury's coming back in. We had our pee break. The jury has relieved themselves. Oh, and we're way past doggo cam now. Yep, we are way past doggo cam. So let's release the hounds of war. Oh, I'll see, now I get it. The cry havoc thing was in relation to the dog cam. I don't like this bitch's attitude, among other things. And yes, it's Florida. Yeah, so you know. All right, so with that, let's see. Yoda has taken to the sofa in the living room. Dargy has perked up here, so there we go. Boom. We have doggo cam. And now that we have doggo cam, we can get rid of that and we can add the law and cut cage. We've locked them behind a cage. Here we go. They're standing on their feet because the jury is coming in. Here we go. Vices is nothing but a grifter and his mods are unemployed. Yeah, my mods are actually well employed, but nothing but a grifter. That's probably true. So there you go. But mods, make sure you time that person out. Thank you. I just did it. There you go.
Do we have to stick to timeout? Removal is so much more fun.
I know, but I like to even give bots a chance. Corn Pope, I just did my very first timeout. Congratulations, Corn Pope. We love you. You're the best. What is the point of bots anyway? Disruption. Exactly. That's all it is. We don't care. Oh, a bot said something about me. I feel so threatened.
Back, everyone take your seat.
Maybe we can get her to text people to send
folks,
send her
probably
brother
that I
over
have a
to shoot up
laptop
their
up
shit.
I am
Don't ever
paying
fucking do
attention
that.
to everything that's going on. Believe you me, I'm not checking the weather or sports news or anything like that. Every week of every year, one judge in Palm Beach County, which comprises the Judicial Circuit 15 of 20 circuits within the state of Florida, is on what's known as duty or duty judge.
He said duty.
24/7. We have to monitor applications for a variety of different types of warrants. So that's my responsibility this week, including presiding over this trial. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm not paying close attention because I have a laptop up here. I'm just keeping track of the warrants that are coming in. And then when we take a break, I go back there and I go through the ones that I'm able to go through in the amount of time that I have. Again, just because I have this laptop up here does not mean that I am not paying attention, because I am. All right. Thank you. All right. You may continue, Ms. Burlett.
So we were talking about your statement to Detective Ema.
Nick Ricada and Andrew made Jeff a thing. He is a clown. Well, what am I, a clown? Like, ha ha, like funny clown or whatever, the casino thing was. Whatevs. All righty. Wait, now I lost the thing that I was going to, I got to go search back here. Someone was saying we don't need, there we go. It was Mike and M. Mike and M right there says, we don't need no stinking warrants, which of course triggers this.
We are federales, the mountain police. If you're the police, where are your badges? Badges? We ain't got no badges. We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
Okay, there we are. That's our badge thing. And Wolfram, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, bots, for adding to my long but undistinguished block list. Have a nice day. Yeah. All right, there we go. We got everything out of the way. Oh, now the mods are fighting over who blocked these people first. Oh, I'm a Pennywise clown because I slay. Ha 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 ha. All right, back to this woman here.
While you were at the hospital after the shooting at roughly 2:45 in the morning.
Correct.
And you've testified here that you don't remember him asking you specific questions. It was more of you were just telling him everything because of your state of mind was pretty harried because you had just found out that Sebastian was killed and Tyler was shot, right?
Correct.
Is that what you told the jury?
Yes.
Okay. And you recall the statement being roughly 15 to 20 minutes in length?
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
so let's talk
Goodfellas.
about rather
Sorry.
than what you didn't
Sorry,
tell.
Goodfellas.
Let's talk about what you did tell him, okay?
Thank you for chastising me.
During this 15 or 20 minutes, isn't it true that you told him that Travis picked you up and dropped you on your back?
I didn't block
Remember
your
that?
head.
Okay. And isn't it also true that you told him, I'm going to have my brother come down here because you obviously need to talk? You remember telling him that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
You remember telling Detective Ema, my brothers, plural, never going to come down here on some harmful anything. Do you remember telling him that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember telling him about
I'll be
your
right
liquor
back.
bottle?
Yes,
Liquor?
I told him I could
almost
do it.
killed her.
Okay. And do you remember telling Detective Ema that Travis was in your face talking shit
Yes.
and you were slapping him?
I don't remember that part, but I might have said that. But it did get kind of like very physical at that point.
And do you then remember telling Detective Ema that you left and went home and told your brother you got to go see about me to Travis? Remember telling Detective Ema that?
Kind of a blur, but I did say to go talk to him. Yes.
That you told your brother to go talk to him, right?
Correct.
That's what you told Detective Ema.
If that's what that says. Yes, I don't remember vividly exactly every single word I said, but if that's what I said there, then yes, you can show it to me if you want.
You may.
Bitch, that's the judge's decision, not yours. You may show it to me if you want. Fuck right off.
Okay.
And if you would turn to page 8. And look at lines 22 to 25.
This is as close as I have to the gaucho
Holy shit, it's
hat.
Canadian Mountie Jeff.
No way. This is my handmade, custom made hat from Spain. Close enough to Mexican outlaws.
It looks so much different when you turn to the side because, like, directly from the front, it looks like the military hat with the like dome and the Mountie hat. But when you turn it, it's sort of got the cone to it.
Right.
There you go.
Whatever.
Oh, on page 8. I'm sorry, I'm on 7.
Yeah.
22 through.
Anyway, never mind.
Okay.
Let's go back. Boop.
Okay, yes, I just read it.
Oh, don't worry, okay, Robbie. Oh, I'm about out, honestly.
I just did this in response to a C-Sweat who says,
That's
Jeff, you need
exactly
a
what it
hat
says
like
here.
that. This is as close as I've got.
But do I remember? Your question was, do I remember correct? No, I don't. I don't remember our exact. That was my very, very first talk with anyone.
Isn't it true that you told Detective Ema that?
Your question was, do I remember?
I'm asking you, isn't it true that you told Detective Ema that?
I don't remember saying this. I'm going to be honest. I remember telling him that I told him to go talk to him, which is on the page previous to this.
Okay. Well, you're not disagreeing that you gave a sworn statement.
I'm not disagreeing at all. I just don't remember. You asked me if I remembered. I said no.
But you're not suggesting that what's in there is not correct, right?
No.
You remember telling Detective, again, we're talking about what you told him. You remember telling Detective Ema that, without being asked, the question, my brother is licensed to carry. Do you remember that?
I probably did tell him that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an important fact to tell him, right?
Just for the simple fact that I found out there was a shooting. Yes, I believed I needed to leave.
Why would that be important if your brother didn't have a gun? Why did you want Detective Ema to know that Keyshawn had a concealed weapons permit?
I wanted him to know because there was a shooting.
Right, because your brother took his gun with him.
N-
That's why you wanted
Show me where my brother took his gun with him. Show it to me. But you're telling me something that you're asking me a question. I'm letting you know my answer. So if you don't have proof right in front of my face, then you can't sit here and tell me anything. I'm telling you.
Holy shit. I have not heard this part of the cross-examination. This is new to me. I just assumed it was all reasonable silliness that we previously saw. Wow.
This is going to get weird. Okay, this is going to get interesting.
Have you seen more than this, Hayden?
No.
I have not seen this far. Wow. This ain't gonna go well if she keeps this shit up.
Yeah, no. The judge is going to step in soon. Jesus.
Hugh Jazz says, "Oh no, you didn't."
Oh no, girlfriend. Wow. Oh no, you didn't.
Wow. This is a. Fluxx says, "I told you it gets worse." Fluxx, you and Mrs. Fluxx need to get in here immediately. All right. Jeff giving off that Ernest Hemingway vibe with that hat, beard, and cigar. Yeah. Well, by the end of this, I just might go all Ketchum, Idaho, and may pull a Hemingway before this is over. All right, let's go.
Okay, enough. Next question.
Exactly.
Oh, the judge did step in.
Next question, please.
Is this how you?
Let's go back. May as well go back in time here and wait for it to buffer on up. Buffer on up to the east side. Well, Corn Pope, it's buffering, so now you can go pee.
You know my answer. So if you don't have proof right in front of my face, then you can't sit here and tell me anything. I'm telling you.
Okay, enough. Next question.
Exactly. Next question.
Stop.
Oh, Jesus.
Next question.
Oh.
Is this how you talk to Travis?
Stop.
This is how I'm talking to you.
Next question.
Didn't you also tell Detective Ema?
Wow.
When your brother got
Don't
to
do
Travis'
that.
house, he said, "I'm not here to start nothing with you. I'm here to talk." Remember telling Detective Ema that?
Correct.
So your brother did give you some details about what happened.
No, before he left the house, he told me he was going over there to speak with him.
Right, but you told Detective Ema that your brother said to Travis, "I'm not here to start nothing with you. I'm here to talk." So you did have details about what happened more than Sebastian was dead and that Tyler was shot, like you told the jury or implied. Isn't that true?
I said I don't recall all of the details that were said that night. I was more concerned about Sebastian being dead.
All right.
Wow.
Didn't you also tell Detective Ema that the Travis ran out of the house and trucked my brother?
Sustained. Next question.
Isn't it true that you told Detective Ema that Travis ran out of the house and hit your brother?
I don't remember.
Okay, if you look at page 11, please.
Yeah. You don't remember? Let me refresh your memory.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Lines 3 through 5.
And see, this is one thing that the witness may not understand is this is seriously, her attitude and her behavior is seriously damaging the prosecution's case. I can't wait to hear what the prosecution tries to do on redirect.
How do you rehabilitate this train wreck?
I don't know. That's why I'm curious to see what happens. This is really, really damaging to their case.
Okay. I'm ready.
Isn't it true that your brother said that he ran out and trucked him?
Yes.
You told Detective Ema.
So,
Isn't that true?
yes.
Okay. And isn't it true that you also told Detective Ema that he was with his friends?
Yes.
So you knew
The trouble is that Indigo, that crazy, like,
that his friend
cloaks
were
itself
with
in
him.
normality or
After I spoke
really
to
good sex.
Daryl, because he said his dreadhead friend is dead.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We've got a cellulite podcast citing Will I Am here. He smelled the witness. He can smell the cellulite from across the state of Florida to wherever he is. Bent Halos and Broken Wings member for 3 months. Cellulite podcast has had many blessings to Vice's panel and chat. He's here for the grift, but stays for the witness.
You spoke with Chris and with Keyshawn.
I spoke to
What's up,
them
Will?
after I spoke to Travis and Daryl.
So you're saying that that's
And
how you
Mark, to
found
answer
out
your
about
question,
that was from
she can get
Travis?
this.
Who?
She can get this chick
Daryl,
roll
DJ,
as
his
much as she
brother.
wants, as long as she
They
does
were
her job.
naming like that. They were saying that light skinned nigga. They were saying the nigga with the dreads. So that's when I'm starting to understand like more people came rather than my brother because my brother doesn't have dreads.
Well, can you explain to the jury how
What?
it was that you just told the jury that your brother told you that I'm not here to start nothing with you. I'm here to talk.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we didn't have a discussion on the phone, and I don't want to. That's what I'm trying to let the jury understand. I'm not saying there wasn't a discussion over the phone. Was it a detailed discussion about what exactly happened that night? No, the conversation was not that long. Is my point that I'm trying to get across to you. This isn't a detailed. What I'm reading, this is not detailed at all.
Well, this is your detail that you gave to Detective Ema.
Which is very minimal because that's all I know. That's what I'm saying. When we talked on the phone. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
You told Detective Ema also that it wasn't like that your brother came in there with a gun and tried to start something. You remember that?
Correct.
Again, you brought up Keyshawn and his gun, right? Look at page 11,
Everybody
lines 14
run.
to 16.
Keyshawn's got a gun.
Yes, I said you're initiating the fight. You're jumping on my brother. He came there to have a conversation with you. He doesn't. It's not like he came there with his gun because I knew he didn't have a gun. That's why I said that.
So you talked about Keyshawn and the lack of not having a gun, right?
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Because now I'm figuring out there's a shooting.
And you also told Detective Ema that Tyler and Sebastian, who are your brother's best friends, had gotten shot, right?
Correct.
And then you remember Detective Ema asking you how you had so much detail and knew so much?
I said I spoke with them. They called me briefly. They were crying. It was a very short conversation.
Well, you
I
haven't
love
seen
you,
her
Will.
stand
And I
up.
also spoke with Daryl and I also spoke with Travis. So
You remember Detective Ema questioning you about why you knew so much details at an event that you weren't at.
no.
Can she
Page 12, please.
can she sue the plastic surgeon for malpractice for getting dementia from the butt lift?
You look at lines
Yeah.
12 through 16.
Yes.
Isn't it true that he asked you? And how do you know all of this? Your answer, I just spoke with my brother. Do you remember that?
And did I not tell you already previously that he told me Sebastian was dead on the phone? This says read the entire line. And then Sebastian is pronounced dead at this moment. And how do you know all of this? I just spoke with my brother.
And before that, there was a lot of discussion about all the details that you and I just discussed before this jury.
Minimal details. They're not. They were very minimal details.
So why did you omit the details from your statement?
Do you remember
Right.
telling Detective Ema that none of your brother's friends and your brother they weren't answering their phones? Do you remember telling him that?
Correct.
Wow. So she said all of these things, but she didn't have any additional information. She didn't know what was going on, but she's having this conversation. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Remember telling Detective Ema, going into details about a text message that Tyranny Coleman sent you?
Yes. Yes.
And isn't it true that you actually showed a screenshot of one of the text messages that Ms. Coleman sent you to Detective Ema? You had it on your phone. You showed it to him. Remember that?
Yes.
And that was the only text message that you showed Detective Ema. Isn't that a fact?
Because I believe the context of the conversation was about that.
So again, the only text message you showed Detective Ema in your sworn statement was one text message from Tyranny Coleman. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the reason you did that was you were trying to portray.
No, the
Oh,
reason.
Let me finish my question.
Is it a question or is it an assumption?
Oh, shut up.
All right, just wait for the question,
Right.
please, Ms. Jones.
My question is.
The judge said it much better than me.
To the detective, right?
Yes.
Already answered that one.
Thank you.
Next question.
You never showed him a text from You said about shoot his shit up or Travis is a dead man walking, right?
Not until the next day when I was asked, or whatever day I was asked.
Well, I'm talking about Detective Ema now.
Correct. Right after, exactly. Right after everything has occurred, you have to understand, I'm not in the right state of mind either. I'm just
Oh.
finding out someone passed away. I'm finding out my mom's car shot up. I'm finding out a lot of things at this moment. A lot of details are going to be left out.
Like the details, like you said, go over there and shoot up his shit. And like your brother saying he's a walking dead man. He's a dead man walking, but you didn't really mean
May.
that.
Make sure the state knows what you're doing.
Yes, I'll go back and put it.
All right.
Can I have that statement back, please? I just handed you what's in evidence as case number 17. Remember looking at that yesterday and being asked questions about it?
Yeah, but honestly, I'm not really sure exactly what this is.
Well, you answered questions.
Oh, these are my phone. Oh, these are my phone records.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what those are.
All right, you
Your
want to take
phone
a look at
records.
them?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're familiar with that, right?
Familiar with what?
Well, you just said those are your phone records, right? Your phone log, right?
Yeah, I'm realizing that now because I'm seeing numbers that I know. So
Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
okay.
All right, and that call log, if you look at the first page, or second page rather, look at the very top. You see where there's some dates?
Yeah.
Okay, and that call log begins on April 8th of 2021, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that's the beginning of that call log, is that right?
I believe so.
Well, is there anything preceding that page?
No.
Okay, go to the end of that call log. The last page,
Okay.
and tell me where that call log ends. What's the last date?
Of everything?
The very last entry. What was the date?
4/4/2021. That?
May I approach
You
the
may.
Permission to bitch slap the witness.
Is this not the last page?
Wait, never mind. That's how all this happened.
I think you have it out of order.
4/4. It's actually the last page and then up to 4.
Yeah,
This
yeah, you
paper's
have
out
it
of order. This whole damn system's out of order.
Yeah, I have it. So yes, like I said, the last entry is 4/4/2021.
So the last page starts on April 4th. Is that correct? Of
Correct.
2021?
Mhm.
And it goes through what date?
The 8th.
Okay. And you've testified that you spoke with Linda Rudolph. Is that correct?
Yes.
And isn't it true that Miss Rudolph's phone number is nowhere in that call log?
Let me take a look for a sec.
Okay, I'm just seeing how much longer we've got here until the morning break. Oh God, another hour. Shit. All right. Yay, we're here for another hour.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it. It's already.
No, I
25
don't see her
Yeah.
number.
You're an
You also
hour ahead,
testified
so
to
your
the jury
hour's
that you
already done.
called, Linda Rudolph. Is that correct?
Go when you gotta go.
That's the same
Attorney
question you just
Coleman,
asked
excuse
me.
me. Ms. Coleman, you remember that?
Yes, I spoke with both of them. And
Okay. And can you tell us where Ms. Coleman's number is on your call log that you turned into the police?
when I was asked, it's not there.
It's not there. That's all I asked. It's not on there.
Okay.
So did you delete those?
No. When I asked to turn my phone in, I turned my phone in.
So how did these numbers disappear from your call log?
Why don't you go ask the police officers or the
Oh
detectives?
Jesus!
Your phone. I'm asking you if you deleted those.
I didn't, and I answered your question.
So you didn't delete them.
I didn't delete those phone calls between Tierney, and I didn't delete those phone calls between his mother. You would have to ask law enforcement.
You turn a different phone over to the Detective Vanderlyn?
What different phone do I have?
My question to you is, did you
Did you
turn the
have-
phone over that was your phone that you were using on April 6th to Detective Vanderlyn, or did you go out and buy another phone and give her that phone?
You have your evidence on my mixed up. I had that phone prior when I was talking to Travis. So the phone that I turned in, you're asking me a question, I'm answering.
It was the same phone.
It was the exact same phone.
Tell
So
us
the
how there
cops
are
did it.
The items missing from the call log.
That would have to be taken up with law enforcement.
You have no idea.
When I turned my phone in, everything that was in my phone and things that weren't there, I spoke on.
Okay. Now you testified. May I approach?
You may.
You testified yesterday.
She needs holy water. That's good.
That the very
Gee.
next day you turned your phone over to the detective. You remember that?
I don't know if it was the very next day. It was when I was asked.
Well, according to your testimony yesterday, you said.
So who was it that deleted your call log?
Who was it? Who could it possibly be? Was it? Oh, I don't know. Say.
Well, the objection is improper impeachment or improper question. So rephrase, please.
Didn't you say that you turned your phone over to the detective the next day?
When the detective asked me to turn my phone in, that's when I turned it in. I don't know the exact day.
You may.
I'm showing you what's been marked as offense number 8. For identification purposes, do you recognize this?
Yep.
What is this?
I had to sign that in order to turn my phone in.
Okay, so this is a consent to search form?
That's like a giant consent to search your form paper. Can you see the big letters?
Your name down here on the lower right?
They've actually
Yes,
blown
and my
the
signature.
A4 page up to
He did. It's like a poster size. This is your name. This is you signing to have this searched, right? Oh, Lord.
Oh, crying out loud.
Your signature, and can you tell us what date this is?
4:15.
So April 15th of 2021?
Correct.
The incident occurred on April 6th of 2021?
That has no recollection for me. You have to understand that. When they asked me to turn my phone in, that's when I turned my phone in.
Okay, so you actually signed the consent to search on April 15th, 2021. Is that correct?
Correct.
Any objection? All right, very well. It's submitted into evidence. Now, in the event that there's a review by the 4th District Court of Appeal in this case, those particular exhibits have to be down to, you understand.
They have to be down to normal.
Not going to be transported in that format.
They're not going to give the Court of Appeals the gigantic,
So
you
was
won the
signed by
lottery
you
check
several
size
days
thing.
after the incident, right?
Right.
And then you turned your phone in the following day after you signed that, and you sent your friend Paloma to do that, right?
Right.
You didn't turn your phone over to the detective directly. You sent a friend.
Correct.
And the reason you did that was you didn't want to be interviewed by the detective. Isn't that true?
No, I was already previously interviewed by her.
By Detective Ema. We've talked about that.
Exactly.
But the phone was being turned over to the lead detective in the case, Detective Vanderland. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
And you never went to see Detective Vanderland. You sent your friend instead, right? Right?
My friend turned the phone in.
Yeah, you said yes.
Asked me this already, and I've
So you
answered
said
yes.
your
My
friend
friend turned the phone in.
Right. And you told the jury yesterday the reason you had your friend do it is because she lived closer
Correct.
to the detective than you did, right?
Correct.
You lived in Delray at the time?
Right.
Detectives in West Palm Beach, right?
Right.
About a 20-minute car ride?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
You have a car, right? You had a car back then.
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
You couldn't drive 20 minutes to drop your phone off to the detective?
It wasn't 20 minutes from my house, though.
How many minutes was it?
About 40.
From Delray to West Palm?
She was somewhere further. It was far from my house. It was traffic time. So I just gave it to my friend the night before, and she just turned it in after work. That's all it was.
So your testimony that the detective told you that you had to come during a specific time, that was traffic time? Is that your testimony?
She didn't say I had to come a specific time. I came when I gave my phone when I was ready to give it to her.
Oh,
Anytime. There wasn't a specific time set during traffic time, right?
you gave it when you were ready to give it. As in, after you deleted all of the call logs?
What's the question?
That's my question. Don't you understand?
No.
Okay. You could have dropped that phone off anytime. The detective didn't say you had to come during a specific time. Is that correct?
I dropped my phone off when she asked me to drop the
Answer
phone
the
off.
fucking question.
You didn't. Paloma did.
Correct.
You remember there being some discussion yesterday about text messages with Daryl, DJ. You remember that?
Correct.
You remember you said on direct examination, I didn't know anybody went with Keyshawn to Travis's house. You remember that?
I said that yesterday.
Sure did. Do you remember that?
Tyler, I know went. That's it.
You
So
said
you lied yesterday.
I didn't know anyone went with Keyshawn. Do you remember telling the jury that? You were trying to imply, there was a whole line of questioning about this.
Sustain.
You testified yesterday that you didn't learn about all this until you were speaking with DJ. You remember that? That's what you told this jury.
Overruled.
Yeah, it doesn't really
Answer the question,
mischaracterize
please.
the evidence.
I'm
It
confused.
it
Okay,
kind of
let's start-
actually
I'm
is
confused.
exactly what
Yeah,
she
let's start
said.
over.
You
Because
hold on. All right, go ahead. You remember?
Go ahead.
You remember telling the jury yesterday when the state was asking you questions about DJ's text? you guys texting back and forth?
Okay, that's what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. And then you told the jury that the first time you heard about all of this and that there were more people that went there besides Keyshawn was when you were talking and communicating with DJ.
But prior to this, you have to remember me, Keyshawn, and Tyler were in a group chat. Remember, you said that out of your own mouth.
You also just testified that there was a FaceTime. You told Detective Ema details about your brothers going there. Don't you remember you just testified about that?
He's chronologically way out of order.
All right.
She's just like chatting right now.
Start over again.
Oh, Lord. You are. Like, I don't even understand
All
where
right,
you're
stop, Miss Jones. All right, next question. Start over again so we can get this cleared up and move on.
Your Honor, though, can I say something?
No.
Your
stop.
Honor, though.
Okay.
No, you can't. Shut the fuck up.
Even the judge is done with her shit at this point. That is not a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
When the judge is telling you just to shut your gob and move on.
You knew well before you spoke to DJ in those text messages that your brother and his friends went over to Travis's house, right?
No.
You said yesterday that you began to understand who came to the Rudolph residence after and you spoke with DJ or during the time you were speaking with
She's
DJ.
a
Remember
real
that?
estate
No.
agent who in 3 years has managed
Isn't
to
it
land
true?
one rental.
That you texted.
And speaking of real estate agents who have only managed to land one rental in 3 years, it's our local goat herd. What's up, Valhalla?
What's going
There
on,
we go.
gentlemen? How we doing?
Oh, there you go. Boom. That's a good way to start out.
I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it.
That was like pretty good. I like that. All right.
That was good.
What's up, V?
What's going on? This lady's crazy.
Not much.
She's
Yeah, she
absolutely
is.
crazy.
And because he's here and because it's that, hang on. Clear out the trash, breaking out the Blantons.
Nice.
The Blantons here. We pour a little bit in our glass here, and we give a special cheers of thanks to all of Valhalla's fallen friends and comrades and people at arms there. Cheers to them on this Memorial Day in the United States. Remember the fallen heroes. Cheers.
Toast to them.
Oh,
it's a little early for alcohol. It's only
Not for me.
11:30.
It's midnight a.m., midnight 30 here, and 1:30 a.m. for Aussie Overlawd. Blanton's is so good. All right.
I've never had Blanton's.
You're missing out.
I'm not much of a liquor guy, though, in all fairness.
It's good. It's just it's for an unrefined palate. It takes some getting used to.
But see, the
I have a bottle
problem
that I
is
haven't drunk much out of it all.
the problem with Australian Blantons is in Australia their import tax is based on the percentage of ABV and the alcohol content. This is a 46.5%. The Australian Blantons, which comes with a beautiful green label, is 40%, and it goes down dangerously easily. It goes down very, very, very easily. Yes, the Australian Blantons is amazing. All right, speaking of amazing, let's get back to this crush job here. Just wanted to welcome Valhalla here to our panel to bring us on home. We've got about an hour left. Oh, you have a real Blanton. Where'd you get that from?
Ooh.
From the liquor store around the corner. It's actually ridiculously easy to get a hold of.
Wow,
Nice.
that's not the standard Australian green label 40%.
No, this is the private reserve single barrel.
Wow, what's the percentage on it?
Shit, now I gotta try and find it.
Right down to the bottom. Just tell you the date it was bottled and then the proof.
46.5.
All right,
Same
standard. Sweet.
Yeah.
When was yours bottled? Is this bourbon whiskey dumped on and then it gives you the date?
Okay, so it's either the 8th of September or the 9th of August, 2021.
It would be would be
it'll be American, so it'll be
8 is the month. The month that comes first. Month, day, year.
Individually and selectively filtered and bottled by hand at 93 proof.
Yum yum yum. So what was the date on that again?
August
Month first.
21.
August what year?
2021.
21.
Oh, okay. Mine was August 22nd, 2019.
Ooh.
All right. Oh, we got the Blantons out of the way. What's the letter on the horse? That's the other important question. A. See, I've had 5 bottles of Blantons in my life, and 4 of them have been the letter N.
Oh, you've talked about the letters before with somebody.
Yeah.
I think Possibly.
Yeah.
like 8 hours.
Okay. This is just a random short thing here. Like the bottle of Blanton's, there's conveniently 8 letters in Blanton's, Blantons.
And you got to try and
each is-
collect every horse because each one has a different one, and there's two ends.
But
And if you
what-
send them in, they send you a plaque.
Yeah, and what the position of the horse is different for every letter. 8 letters, 8 different horse positions, and what they are is it's the strides of a horse on every 1/8 of a mile around a 1 mile track.
How do they pull that off?
I don't
At
know, I
one
guess
point in a horse's stride, all 4 feet come off the ground.
Well, apparently it's not like on the exact place they did it. But yeah. Anyway, that's the deal. It's like it's the horse's the horse's body position every 1/8 of a mile for 1/8 for every letter in Blanton's. All right, with that out of the way, let's get back to this. Otherwise, we'll be here till
Sebastian
dawn.
and Tyler
This is a
in a
crazy
group
lady.
text at 11:44 p.m. on April 6th. Where are you all at?
That's enough of me. I'm just sniffing.
Can I see?
I'm just asking you.
What was that? Are you out?
I took a sniff and I was like, no, that's enough for me tonight.
Okay. I thought that was like that's enough for me tonight means you're leaving us. Okay, so you're
Oh,
still
no,
here.
no.
All right, that's good. So like I said, we got about an hour left. We're gonna wrap this up. We'll do the morning, and then later on in the evening U.S. time, or I guess the morning U.S. time, on we will. God, I hate international date lines and time zones and shit. So it'll be Tuesday night my time, which will be Tuesday morning. Is that what time? I don't know what the fuck. Whatever. Yeah. So Tuesday morning my time, we'll do this. We'll have Law and Lumber Rob, and then when he leaves, we'll do this for another couple hours, etc., etc. We'll get through this. We'll do our best to stay as close as we can. We'll usually be a day or two behind the court unless we can somehow catch up.
Do you remember that?
No, I don't recall that.
Okay. Do you remember Tyler sending you a
Objection. Witness is asking whether does she remember. She said she did not.
Well, this is a different question, though.
Yeah, I'm asking.
All right, go ahead.
Right, Judge.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Isn't it a fact that Tyler sent a text back to you, Keyshawn, and Sebastian at 11:44 on April 6th? We're on our way right now. RN, right now. Do you remember that?
Do you remember that text? Responsive
No.
reply text, excuse me. All right, next question.
Isn't it true that Tyler sent you, Sebastian, and Keyshawn?
Do you remember whether is the proper way to ask that question?
You remember whether Tyler sent you, Sebastian, and Keyshawn a group text at 11:44 a.m. and that text saying, "I love you so much. I got you." Do you remember that?
No.
Do you remember a text at 11:44 that you sent in a group text to Sebastian, Tyler, and Keyshawn? Your response was, "Okay." Do you remember that?
No.
Okay. Do you remember a text at 10:16 that evening, before the other text that I just read,
Grounds.
that Tyler sent to you saying, "Send me his address"? Do you remember that?
No.
Oh.
Do you remember at 10:17 that you sent Tyler Robinson a text that said 550 Teak Drive? Do you remember that?
No.
Doxed.
Okay. Do you remember at 10:21 p.m. on the evening of April 6th, sending Tyler a text where you said, "Tell Keyshawn come on"? Do you remember that?
No.
At 10:24 p.m. that night, do you remember sending Tyler a text? "Okay, you here?" Do you remember that?
No.
Do you
And
remember
after
anything?
the shooting took place, which was approximately midnight, do you remember at
Malcolm was gonna get her in
12:58
trouble.
after the shooting that you sent a group text to Keyshawn, Sebastian, and Tyler? Call.
No.
How did she not get charged?
You
I
knew.
don't understand.
Well, before you spoke to before you
Again, like the deal is, I mean, they probably all could be charged with something, I would guess, but they are also these state star witnesses. And if you charge your own witnesses, one, they're not going to cooperate with you anymore. And two, it just looks really bad for your case if everyone you are putting up there as a witness has been charged with a crime in the same instance. So I think they just said, we got them. We'll get him for murder and let these other go for the lesser crimes. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
you spoke to Daryl DJ, that group of men were together and that they were at Travis's house, did you not?
I knew Keyshawn and Tyler were together. I didn't know Sebastian was there.
And you're not just trying to distance yourself, right?
Distance myself from what?
Oh, and I'm sorry. While we're stopped here, the the notifications are coming in really weirdly. So some of them are not coming in, some are coming in late. So I just wanted to say, where'd we get here? Givener, who's been a member for 8 months of the Clean and Sober Crew, says, "Dang, how can you let Fluxx go? Fluxx is her own woman." I didn't let her go. She insisted on leaving. I hope she'll bring Mrs. Fluxx back for the last few minutes of this stream we're doing. And also, Wolfram, have you been up all night? Even Aussie has fallen asleep. Hasn't fallen asleep yet.
No, but we're literally about to hit 3 hours. I think I'm going to tap out.
All right. Well, now he's fallen asleep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at some point, I've got to get up, do my show, do my trial stream in the morning, do a full day of work,
etc.
potentially come back tomorrow night. Holy crap.
You got this, bro. I have faith in you.
Yeah.
Aussie Overlawd.
Wait and see what happens once my wife's gotten through with me.
Aussie's been here for the vast majority of the day, which is deeply, deeply appreciated. Keeping us company, keeping us entertained.
Have you been going all night?
I've been going all damn day here. I am in hour 13 right now.
Wow.
And I did like 4 hours before I jumped on with Vices too. So.
Wow.
Fluxx says we're doing chores. I have to finish my chores before I can come out to play. Well, if you and Mrs. Fluxx both stop doing chores and come and join me for an hour, then you're both here, so you can't get mad at each other for being on my stream. So there you go.
That's true. That's true.
Right. So there you go. Aussie, Hayden, thank you so much for being here.
No worries, guys. I will catch you later. Stay healthy, wealthy, wise, people.
Be safe.
All right. Make sure you get over to Aussie Overlawd, subscribe to him, like everything he's ever done, and that'll take care of you.
That'd be appreciated.
Thank you, sir. And he is oot, as they say in Canada.
Oot.
Alrighty then, let's get back into this and wrap this up in about.
Oh, you didn't want
45
anyone
minutes.
to know that you were communicating with them because you didn't want to get in trouble.
Get in trouble for what?
Well, you could have been in
Accessory to
trouble for
murder?
setting this whole thing up and setting this in motion. Weren't you concerned?
Setting what up? Your client shot 84 rounds. There was no shots back.
84?
What did I set up?
Well, you sent somebody to go shoot him, didn't you?
Did he get shot?
You sent somebody to shoot him, did you not?
Did he get shot?
All right, Ms. Jones, you need to answer the questions, not ask them. All right, next question.
This is Clown World.
I don't understand how this is even a thing right now.
This
You
is
set
Clown World.
up. She set up a hit on this dude. He defended himself, killed an attacker, and now he's on trial for murder.
Yes, well,
this-
because the prosecution is arguing that the threat ended when they started to run away, and he chased them for 300 yards and unloaded 39 rounds into their car as they were driving away. That's the rub here. So that's what the defense is so far relying upon, and even if what the state is saying is true and their theory of the case is correct, she is doing the state absolutely zero favors by being this combative. She's everything she says, the jury has got to be saying she's out of her damn mind. We can't trust anything she says. Her brother was the first witness, and he was equally bad for different reasons. So basically, the two witnesses the states have put on the stand for any real meaning, they put some fireman on for a few minutes who just testified like people had holes in them. But yeah, the two main witnesses have been really, really bad for the prosecution.
I can't imagine that anybody in this case would be a good witness, to be completely honest.
And like that 87 rounds, it was more like 39. Was it 39 or 37? I think it was 39 rounds. Yeah, it was 39 rounds that he shot.
Was
at the
she
car.
there at all? Like, how would she know how many rounds were shot in the first place? She's just throwing out magic numbers.
Yeah, pretty much. They've said it was 39. There was 39 casings collected. They were all from his weapon. Yeah. She's just throwing shit out.
Question.
She had a drum mag, apparently. He did, not her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait until you see Tyler. I don't know who. Oh, Tyler's going to testify. Oh, God. Not today.
On April 6th at 10:24 p.m.
I'm willing to bet this chick's never taken
you
responsibility
remember
for a single thing in her
Tyler
entire
Cole?
life.
Of course not.
No.
Do you remember seeing that call on your phone extraction, states number 17?
If I can't see any evidence in front of
I'll
me,
give it to you.
this happened 2 years ago. I don't remember. So you're going to keep receiving I'm not trying to.
You may.
May I approach and show her where she said this shit? Yes.
All right, and you've provided Ms. Jones with what?
Yeah, the guest info will be added
Thank you.
when I end the stream here.
Okay, so what was the question?
Do you remember Tyler calling you at 10:24 p.m. on April 6th?
Well, do you remember or do you not?
I'm looking through the
Okay, but the question is, do you remember now without looking
question is
through
I have to
everything?
look first.
All right, so you don't remember.
Now
Is
she's
that
snapped
right?
like a judge.
Exactly the time. It shows you more than just somebody calling you.
All right, well, if the
Source,
lawyers are all right
shows
with
you
that, I'm
date.
all right with it.
Okay, I don't remember. I'm not even gonna-
Jesus.
I don't remember.
My question is, do you see?
No.
You don't even know my question. No, you don't know.
Do I see the conversation of Tyler calling me? No.
Not a conversation, a call on your phone log.
No, I don't see it.
Okay. Do you remember at 10:52 Tyler calling you?
No.
Do you know if that's on your call log?
Who?
That call. Do you see a call on your call log at 10:52 from Tyler?
No.
Okay. Do you remember Tyler calling you, excuse me, that you called Tyler at 10:58 p.m. before the shooting?
Tyler got shot 3 times and
I
survived.
speak to them all the time, so I don't remember.
I'm asking you if there's a call on your call log that reflects that.
No, that isn't what you asked her. You asked her if she remembers.
Do you remember?
She asked if she
And I
saw.
said no.
Do you
Okay, and now
see?
take a look at that and tell me if you can see a call that you made to Tyler Robinson at 10:58.
I don't even know his number anymore. I don't see. So no, I'm gonna say no.
Well, do you see anything in there that reflects Tyler? You had Tyler's name in his phone as what? In your phone? What was he in your phone as? Tell the jury, please.
I don't even see it. I think.
So what did you, how did you have him as your contact? What was his name in your phone?
Shooter.
Didn't you just hear me say I don't see it?
No, I'm asking you how you saved his name in your phone. What was his?
I don't remember. It might have been Ty, but I don't see it here.
You're still in touch with him, right? So you don't know how you put him in your phone?
That you have to be specific now. You're using the present tense or the past tense. I can't tell. Ms. Perlette.
Okay. At 10:59, a minute later on April 6th, do you remember calling Tyler?
No.
Okay. Another call at 10:59 on April 6th. Do you remember calling Tyler?
No.
At 12:20 after the shooting, now April 7th.
Wow.
Do you remember calling Tyler?
No.
At 12:23 on April 7th, do you remember calling Tyler?
No.
Mo in the deep end
12:38.
said, I need vodka
Do
and
you
a
remember
straw.
calling Tyler?
No.
1:29 in the morning, do you remember calling
Got
Tyler?
them both
No.
here.
1:31 in the morning, do you remember calling Tyler?
No.
Now, with respect to those questions, can you tell me if you, by looking at that document, if you see any of those calls on there that we just discussed?
I don't remember his number at the time, so I can't tell you.
And again, you don't know what you saved it under, right?
At the time, sometimes he's changed the number. So if he changed his number, I might not have saved it at the time. So no, I can't see his name right now.
So there were some text messages that we already have in evidence between you and Tyler and a third party that have Tyler's name on them. So on April 6th, he was named. So
Sustained.
Wow.
Stand up and stretch, folks, but obey the cardinal rules while you're doing that.
They're going to go approach, and we're going to skip ahead here a little bit. Oh, my Lord. This woman. This is our defendant here, former NFL player. And Cliff from Cheers is his lawyer. And I have made the mistake of attempting to fast forward, which is buffering us. Wow. Is this weird enough for you, Val?
This is horrible. This is absolutely insane. She said at one point that if she didn't have proof, she wasn't going to admit to anything anyway on the stand. Like, why is this even still happening? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Pretty much. And we've gone into buffering hell at 3 hours, 51 minutes, and whatever seconds. How much longer has she got here to testify? About a half hour left. Oh, thank sweet God for that.
You know what? This lady, I'm going to go get a beer. I'll be right
All
back.
righty. You do that. We're just going to watch the defendant stretch out his lower lumbar region. Man. And again, like I'm saying, none of this really affects the testimony none of this really affects the state's argument and their proof that they broke off whatever it was that may have been self-defense and changed to a murder as they were trying to escape.
So,
but she is
you
just being
recall
such
seeing
a
some text
biatch
messages
that
between
it's
yourself,
looking really
Tyler,
bad.
and your brother
She's got me
during
drinking
the course of this
before
trial?
noon.
Yes.
And those phone messages, I believe, were actually from Keyshawn's phone. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And do you know what Keyshawn called or had his contact saved for Tyler Robinson?
No,
And you don't remember how you saved Tyler Robinson in your phone, correct?
because he gets new numbers. So no, I don't remember.
So he gets new numbers?
Yes, I'm like normal people. If he changed his number, sometimes I might not save it.
Okay, so
All right.
I've had
I
the
have
same
had
phone number
my
for like 8 years. at
I've
least.
had mine for over 20 years.
There-
The same cell phone number.
My old man got his land number changed over to his cell phone and had it up until he died.
My father has had the same home phone number since since I was born. Shit. I do not remember a time when it wasn't the number it is now, regardless of how many times he moves. And so people just don't randomly change number for no reason. I mean, some do, some don't, but I never have. So that falls flat on me. The only thing that's ever changed in 20 plus years is the prefix, the first 3 numbers. And that's just because my original provider went out of business.
I still have the same phone number from Illinois. I still have the area code from up there.
Nice.
It cuts down on scam calls. I don't get a lot of
Since this incident, he's changed his number. Is that your testimony?
That's not my testimony. I said people change numbers and sometimes they don't get resaved. That's my testimony.
You don't know whether he changed his number or not, correct?
No, I do not.
Okay.
She's so full of shit.
It's kind of one way of putting it.
You may. Okay, thank you. No, it is 8. 7 is the big oversized consent form.
Okay. Showing what's been admitted to evidence as states number 8. Take a look at that, please. I'm just going to remove that.
Okay.
Good point, Bobby.
Familiar
Good point.
with this search history?
Yeah, it's my search history from my cell phone.
Your search history from your cell phone, right?
Right.
And the first page, it starts on April 7th of 2021. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the very last page concludes at April 15th.
So full of, it
2021.
was
Is
so
that
full of
correct?
shot. It's infuriating. No, that was Tyler that was so full of shot.
Okay, we look at the first page.
And Sebastian, the deceased one.
Are you on the first?
Shouldn't
You
joke
need another
about
moment to look.
I'm
for it?
on the first page. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. So on April 7th at 6:41, I believe it is. You see that entry? It's about a quarter of the way down on the page.
Stand your ground law.
Right. You researched on your cell phone, stand your ground law. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that was at 6:41 in the morning, right?
Yes, after everything happened.
Right. A couple of hours after you spoke to Detective Ema, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
The same day on 4/7/21, at 6:41 in the morning, you also searched stand your ground law in Florida. Is that correct?
Correct.
What? Wait, what? I missed that.
She was
all right.
Google searching stand your ground laws in Florida.
That's what I thought they said. Holy crap. I'm sorry we have to go through this buffering process again, but I literally missed that. So she searched for stand your ground laws when she didn't say go shoot up his shit. And her brother said he's a walking dead man. That does not look good.
The same day, the day of.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we go. We're done with the buffering. Let's listen to that doesn't sound good.
41 in the morning, you also searched stand your ground law in Florida. Is that correct?
Correct.
Oh, Lord. Yep. That's bad.
That's not good. It's not good.
On 4/7 at 9:01, you searched death penalty in Florida.
Oh,
Is that
Lord.
correct?
Correct.
On 4/8 of 2021, you searched accessory to murder. Is that correct?
Correct.
Oh, Jesus.
Why were you in that?
Yeah,
I'm
why-
searching on my phone like normal people do when they get into uncomfortable situations.
Well, when you
like, can I be found guilty for being an accessory to murder because I said go shoot up his shit and my brother said he's a walking dead man? You mean like that? Like all of us? Those are problems that all we just search for that shit all the time? Holy God.
I will,
Woman.
in my defense, my search history is pretty ridiculous. I will say that.
It is, but
I spent a
is it
lot
on
of
the
time
same
watching
day
court
you-
trials. That's so bad, man.
Oof. Holy schnozzies here. This
That's
is
so bad.
holy crap. All right, yeah, she's in a bad way here.
I can't believe
you
she didn't get
searched up
charged.
that term, accessory to murder, what did you learn?
I didn't really learn that much.
Okay.
I wasn't really looking too hard into it. I'd never been in a situation like this, so I just was looking,
Well,
literally.
What does that mean, accessory to murder?
I don't know. You're the lawyer. You tell me.
No, you're the one that said you wanted to go to law school, right?
Oh,
I'm a realtor.
Burn.
Do you have a college degree?
No, I have a real estate license.
So
You notice
and
she
why
didn't
does
say
that matter?
successful realtor.
April 8th of 2021 at 10:59, you searched up self-defense in Florida. Is that correct?
Correct.
Get hard.
Yeah.
And then on April 8th at 10:59, you searched self-defense, correct?
Oh Lord.
And that was only a day after this incident, correct?
Correct.
Oh
And
Lord.
then on April 12th at 5:35 p.m., you searched Florida Stand Your Ground. Is that correct?
Again.
And then on April 13th at 10:39, you searched Mark Shiner, attorney, net worth. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Why were you looking at Mr. Shiner's net worth?
She needed a new
Because I
boyfriend.
just knew Travis's financials and I knew he couldn't afford, so I was just curious.
Okay, but what does Mr. Shiner's net worth have to do with Travis affording a lawyer?
Because I heard he hired him. So I was curious. I heard he was hired, so I was curious.
Okay.
I'm allowed to search anything on my phone. It's not illegal.
Okay.
Oh
On
no. It's not illegal, but it looks really bad.
Oh, she was going to try to date the lawyer. That's what that was. She
Gold
needed a
digger,
new
yeah.
baby daddy.
Oh Lord, yeah, you are absolutely right. It's not illegal to make those searches, but making those searches may implicate you in illegal behavior. Oh no. What is
She's not
going
smart.
What is going on here?
She's not bright.
This is not gold. This is really bad for the prosecution. This is like the exact opposite of gold if you were the prosecutor. Because again, while this may not completely and directly undermine his case, she is she is the star witness and she is ridiculously uncredible.
Fluxx.
Wow. Fluxx, you're welcome. Yeah, this is all your fault. Wow.
Oh, that's funny.
This is not good. I cannot wait for redirect. This is going to be ugly. And like I said, we're running out of time to do a redirect before she's off the stand. So it'll be interesting to see if there is I don't know if there's a redirect, but if there's not, that just means they have completely written her off.
Yeah.
13th at 10:51, you searched best prosecuting attorney, Palm. Remember that, Palm Beach?
Okay.
No.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
That's
Then
a good
you
point.
searched on April 13th.
Anna, That's a
You have
good
to remember
point.
now at this point, a lot of these aren't just my searches. People are asking me questions and I'm using my phone to find certain things. The beginning ones, okay, yes, these definitely were me. But
These are other people using your phone now?
they're not using my phone. That we're having conversations and I'm typing it into my phone. It's not just me sitting there typing all this every single day.
You're having discussions with your friends about self-defense in Florida, right?
Not necessarily about self-defense, about the entire situation.
Well,
You're
you
making
said
it
that
worse.
Some of these things
It's
weren't
not.
necessarily you. Your friends were talking to you and you were...
We're just having an open, when you have an open discussion and you might yourself just type something
Yeah,
in your
you know,
About the murder
you're-
trial that you're
yeah, when you're having
potentially
an
facing?
open when you've said go shoot up his shit and your brother says he's a walking dead man and then like he goes over there with his three friends and there actually is some gunshots one person dies and another, those conversations you just have where you're like, stand your ground. What's his lawyer worth?
We call that a Tuesday.
We all have those, don't we? What the Lord is happening here? Holy crap. And Anna I says, so remember when she said she didn't know about Travis's NFL, CFL contracts? Do you believe she didn't Google his contract information now?
She knew.
I don't. She knew.
She
and
knew.
Everyone that you don't even have to date an athlete to know that there are minimum salaries that they give these people because unions and whatnot.
I looked it up the other day. A 1-year contract in the NFL, the minimum salary rate in 2022 was like $455,000 for a 1-year contract.
Drex somewhere. These German Shepherds ain't shit. Wow. It's just getting worse.
It's not.
Shut up, woman.
Better.
No, it's not. This is bad. All right.
Phone. No one's telling me to type anything. No one's forcing me to. And no, I'm just having.
Wait, so you're doing this on your own? You're making it worse. Shut up.
Open discussions with people, and I'm typing it in on my own on my phone.
I understand you're typing it, but your testimony is that you and your friends or people are having a discussion about self-defense as it relates.
That's not my testimony.
I'm asking if that's what you were doing.
No.
You and your friends having a discussion about self-defense as it relates to Mr. Rudolph's conduct.
No. I didn't think it was self-defense at all from day one.
But why were
you looking?
Why'd you Google it?
I wanted to know. Is it a crime for me to look at my phone to be knowledgeable?
No, don't ask questions. Answer them.
Okay, I was trying to be knowledgeable. That's the answer.
Because it was relevant.
It wasn't relevant.
It sure was.
Stuff that has no relevance.
Yeah. What?
Do you think honestly that she believes what she's saying, or is she just trying to stay out of trouble?
This is a 2-minute warning for a football game. These last 20 minutes are going to take us 6 hours to get through at this rate. Holy crap.
I can't decide. I can't decide if she's this arrogant and
this is Judge Judy syndrome. This is what's his face? This is Jerry Springer shit here. This is just you think this court is like not a real thing and you can just spout off and be confrontational and shit. It ain't how it works in the real life, babe. Oh my Lord.
Imagine her talking to like regular people. If she's this belligerent with the lawyer and the judge, imagine her like talking to the lady at the supermarket or something. Good Lord.
Oh my, yeah. I mean, this ain't good. I mean, seriously, this is not good. This is the exact opposite of good. Holy cow. I got nothing for this woman here. Man. Let's take an easy question to field here. Where'd it go? We had an easy question, but I lost it because I didn't star it. I have to go back. God dang it. Can't remember who asked it. I can't find it because that's me. Jerry.
Oh, poor Jerry. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah. Someone asked, where can you get an awesome hat like the one I'm wearing? This is from Y Hats in Spain. It's a custom made job. It's Y Hat, one word, Y Hats, WHYHATS.ES for España. YHats.es. That's where I got this hat. It's an awesome hat.
Relevance or that you're not interested about?
I look up stuff that I'm not knowledgeable about. That's what I look up about.
Okay.
All right. There's not going to be any more argument back and forth.
I'm willing to bet that's a large search history.
Okay.
April 13th,
Taser.
2021, you
Taser.
JetBlue customer service. You remember that?
Okay.
And then on April 13th,
He is in his own judgy
2021,
way.
You searched up pro bono. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And then the same day you looked up pro bono lawyer. You remember that?
She's
Yes.
broke.
What does pro bono lawyer mean?
Free lawyer.
That was for something completely different. A pro bono lawyer takes you and they take your case for free. Yeah. It had nothing to do with, no, I wasn't looking for a lawyer. This is something completely separate that you don't even know about. So that's not relevant to the case right now.
Oh, well, let the jury decide that.
You don't get to
Where you're
decide
looking
what's
at
relevant to the
defense attorney,
case.
Sunshine or net worth, and then you're looking for a free lawyer.
And arguing. Next question, please. Sustain.
CHD. I'll answer your question here in a minute.
Testified repeatedly that Keyshawn did not have his gun that night, right?
Yes.
And you've testified repeatedly that Travis was the one that had the gun and he's the one that shot Sebastian and Tyler.
I'll
right?
answer this in a
I
minute.
didn't testify that. I saw it.
You saw Travis, what?
I saw Keyshawn not have his gun.
You said Keyshawn did not have his gun, right?
Correct.
Okay. So isn't it true that your research regarding self-defense would have nothing to do with Keyshawn's conduct since he didn't have a gun? The only one that had a gun, according to you at that time, was Mr. Rudolph.
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah, that's the question.
What's the question?
Isn't it true that the reason you researched self-defense had nothing to do with your brother having a gun because you've testified repeatedly he didn't have a gun, right?
Correct. He did not have a gun.
And according to you, it was my client who had the gun and shot, right?
Correct.
And self-defense involves the use of a gun and you're defending yourself.
Seriously.
Feel free to stand up and stretch, folks.
Take a break, actually.
Yeah. The judge just ignored her. Awesome.
Yeah, the judge's like, shut up. Wolfram says, where is Tackleberry when you need him? Nice Police Academy blast. That's great. CHD says, Legal Vices, what started this whole conflict?
Look,
Like,
you're trying
why
to
did
get
her
off
brother
this
go
question.
after them?
On a new subject.
Well, now I've started answering it, so
Sorry.
you just get to look at her while I answer the question. Okay, basically they were breaking up. There was some other woman who he repeatedly told her had a better body than her and looked better than her, which I know it's hard to imagine and all.
No lies detected. No lies
Apparently he thought there was actually someone out there that looked better than her, you know. And then he's like, get your shit and get out of the house. And she, according to her, somehow she tried to go in to get her shit to get out of the house, but he wouldn't let her into the house to get her shit when he said, get your shit and get out. So she went after him, which is on the ring cam, and she admits that she initiated the violence by going after him because he was talking shit. So she attacked him physically, after which he allegedly body slammed her twice, although the ring cam only shows her falling down in the grass once. As a result of a possible shove. She goes home and calls her brother and says, this is all the horrible things he did. Go shoot his shit up. Brother said he's a walking dead man. 3 of his friends show up at the house. They go to his house after midnight, park 2 blocks down the road. They walk up on his house, start pounding on his door. He comes out and allegedly he came after them with a gun, depending who you ask, or they started jumping him. And then he went in to get his weapon, and then we don't know what happened. The prosecution says that he chased them 300 yards to their car, then pumped 39 rounds into them and the car. The defense says, no, this all happened near the car, and they didn't shoot until they got in the car. But as soon as they got in the car, the defense alleges that one or more persons in the vehicle pointed a pistol or pistols at him, at which point he opened fire on the vehicle.
Why would they have parked 300 yards away?
Because they wanted to be non-confrontational. Yeah. Not sneak up on his house in the middle of the night. Whereas I think if you just turned your lights on and pulled into someone's driveway, calmly got out with one of you, knocked on the door, rang the doorbell and said, hey, I'd like to talk to you about the sister thing. That might be less confrontational than 4 people parking down the block, sneaking onto your property in the middle of the night and pounding on the door.
But
hey, what do
confrontational?
Yeah, what do I know? And so what I'm saying here is it's still a he said, she said thing. Literally, he said, she said. The prosecution's case has not been thwarted, but she's destroyed her own credibility, I think, with the jury, which essentially nullifies anything she had to say. And her brother did the same thing. So the state, as far as I'm concerned, not that their case has been proven wrong, but their witnesses who are testifying to this have 0 credibility with me at the moment. And so has so far, her and her brother have managed, in my opinion, to sink the prosecution's case just because I can't believe a goddamn word that's come out of their mouth. The only witness I can believe so far is the fireman who testified, yeah, dude had 3 holes in him and he lived.
The guy that was ended, where did he laying in
he was in the car. They drove around with him for a while, and then they realized he wasn't breathing, so they pulled over and called 911. But they were trying to drive him to a hospital. They didn't call the ambulance immediately because they said they could get to the hospital faster than an ambulance could get to them. Oh yeah, and if you missed that was the thing. She was married.
Yeah, she was married.
Yeah, they had been dating for a year and a half, and she didn't bother to tell him that she was still married to another dude, even though they were talking about getting married. It's fucked up. Yeah, she has zero credibility, and regardless of whether or not she's correct, her combativeness, her changing her answers, her being hedgy, her being a bitch has destroyed her credibility. And I think based on this, we have to throw out her testimony completely. We have to throw out her brother's testimony completely, which leaves the prosecution with bupkis at this point.
I'm going to have to go back and watch the brother's testimony.
Oh, Lord. Good luck.
Yeesh.
All right. Well, we'll take a restroom break then for, well, wait a minute. It's almost noon. How much longer have you got? Literally 2 minutes?
Less than 2.
Okay, go.
Until I'm done to go home.
Well, after
Shut up.
redirect if there is any. But we'll take a restroom break after Cross is finished.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Burlett.
You looked up self-defense because after speaking with everybody, you believed that somebody was acting in self-defense, right?
Last time on that one.
Look
I
at that
hate her
smirky
so
bitch.
much. I hate her so
Then
much.
why did you
Man.
look up self-defense?
Because I have an iPhone and I can look up anything I want to.
On direct examination today with Miss Edwards, you said you were
She
asked
needs
some
to go
questions
Google her getaway plan.
about web searches, and you said you did some of the searching in case if I need to turn myself in. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember saying that.
What did you mean by that?
I
Nice.
was unaware, unknowledgeable about this entire situation. So I did some research. That's the bottom line of it. Can we please move on from this question?
Because you believed you had some culpability that you had.
If I believe I had some culpability, I would have never came. I would have came in with a lawyer, a paid one, not a pro bono one. And I would have made sure that I would have never spoke to any law enforcement if I thought anything was going to happen to me.
With all
Did
of her
I do that?
money
No,
from
I
her
completely,
real estate
from
sale.
day one,
Yeah.
agreed, turned my phone in. Anything that was asked of me, I did. So no, you have it incorrect. And that's the last time I'm speaking on that.
Oh, Jesus.
Phone in over a week later after you deleted items from it,
No, when they told me to turn my phone in, my phone was turned in.
and items were deleted from it, right?
And they retrieved them is what I heard.
And you were concerned still, though.
Who wouldn't be concerned? This is not a normal situation. Of course I'm going to be concerned.
That's why you said I needed to do this research to see if I had to turn myself in.
I research everything. I research what
Doubt it.
any little thing I research.
I have no.
I'm a knowledgeable child. I'm sorry if you felt like
What?
She's just
I
absolutely
hate Fluxx so much. I hate Fluxx so much for sucking me into this.
Could you
Knowledgeable
imagine being
child.
with this woman? The absolute pain it would just take to decide on a restaurant to eat at is unbearable.
Oh my God. I'm a knowledgeable child. I'm sorry if you felt something.
like this was inappropriate to research.
All right, thank you very much. Before we take that restroom break, let's find out, is there going to be any redirect? All right, okay, so we will take a restroom break then for 10 minutes. We'll be back at 12:10. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to try to finish with this witness before we take a lunch break, all right?
Just put her
Leave
down.
your pads, remember and obey the 4 cardinal rules. No research, no discussion, open mind, and you won't run into any of us, so we don't have to worry about that one.
All right, let's fast forward 10 minutes here and get through this redirect. This is bad.
It's not good.
No, it's the opposite of good.
Corn Pope.
Yeah. Oh no. This witness can't get worse. We're almost done, Fluxx. It's only redirect. It can't get worse.
On redirect.
And I hate you, Fluxx, for this whole thing. This is all your fault.
I love you, Fluxx. I thank you so much.
I hate Fluxx. So all right, it's 10 minutes past noon. They're getting ready. She just oh man.
There's certain humans that you encounter that just they're awe they awe-inspiring for various reasons. This woman is one of them. Not a good awe, by the way. Not a good awe.
I've just started hour 14 of this shit.
Why is she just standing there?
I don't know. I don't care. I just wanted to go away.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Take your seats. All right, you may commence with redirect.
The judge is like,
Ms. Jones, did you love Mr. Rudolph? Like, really love him?
Yes.
Did you want Mr. Rudolph to die?
No.
Do you want Mr. Rudolph to die?
No. I don't even want him in this position right now, honestly.
I
then why are
assume
you
loved
testifying against him, you dumb bitch?
More than anybody in the world.
him, and that you loved Sebastian,
Yeah, I did. And do.
and that you loved Tyler.
Yes.
Sustain.
So I think
Good.
the question everybody wants to know is that if you loved everybody, did you orchestrate a murder of your boyfriend?
What?
Overruled.
Did you?
No. I didn't expect anybody to get injured that night.
Yes, because you
I wanna
testified
talk a little
shooting
bit
up your
about some of the
shit
things you
means
asked
shoot
about
up
in
everything
cross-examination.
except a person.
When
When she sent 3 dudes to shoot up his shit, she didn't
was
expect
he
anybody to get
still
injured.
the NFL star with all the money that he had from that contract?
Sustained.
What was Travis Rudolph's financial state at the time when you two started a romantic relationship?
If you know, do you know the answer to that question?
Yes, I know the answer to that question very well.
Answer.
She said she
He didn't have money at all. He was financially struggling. He wasn't in the NFL anymore, and he didn't have a job because of COVID, so he was struggling.
Struggling.
You become romantically attached with Mr. Rudolph because you were hoping that there would be a payoff at some point?
Rephrase. Sustain.
Did you ever hope that things would get better financially?
No.
Overruled.
Oh.
I can speak. No, it was never the case because I didn't know he was going to the CFL, remember, until later on in the relationship. So I didn't even know that he was going to the CFL until later on. I didn't know his contract. I never asked him, never looked up his contract, anything like that. So no, there was no financial beneficial.
Sustain. Next question.
Shut up, in other words.
That's fine.
Ask, why did you love Mr. Rudolph? Was it financial or his person?
Him.
Overruled.
Him.
Why did you love him? Financial or him?
Him. I loved him. I loved him.
And by him, I mean his bank
You were
account.
asked about the video camera footage from
His
the
fancy
Wayne
ass
camera
cars.
on the day April 6, 2017, sort of as it got darker and Daryl Rudolph was present. Do you remember that? The ring video of you actually getting put
Yeah. Sorry.
So you referenced that there were two
Yes,
separate
this is
times
on
that you
Law
were
and
put on the
Crime. That's
ground.
who we're
Obviously, we
watching.
watched one.
Correct.
Where did the other one occur?
Same place. Daryl was trying to push him back and get him away, and it happened same place, just a different timing.
What?
And did you do anything to manipulate the recording system so that it didn't capture that?
No, I don't. I thought it was going to all be captured originally because it is
What?
a ring light, but I guess it doesn't work that way.
All right. So when you're talking about getting put on the ground by Mr. Rudolph, what exactly physically happened to your person?
Yeah, tell us.
So sure, I had cosmetic surgery. I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't. It's 2023.
She busted her
my back,
Literally.
and my bottom part of my butt
My
like,
neck, my back. Oh, never mind.
physically hurt because I was only about like 6 weeks post-op, so I was still healing. They tell you about like 8 weeks, and I was injured. Like second time he slammed me, I was out of breath from his slam.
So what I want to know, and what I'm sure the jury is interested in, is the mechanics of what actually happened. Where were you held, and how were you put to the ground?
Basically up here and like grab by one foot, and then
Just because the recording is audio only, I need you to identify the parts of your body.
okay, so basically shoulders and one foot, and then like fell back to the ground. Like he pushed me back to the ground.
Okay, now how many hands does a human being have? 2.
I've only got 2.
He grabbed her shoulders and
Plural.
one leg.
That would require 3 hands, I would assume.
That's what I'm thinking.
So you're not, are you saying that he like lifted you off the ground?
I'm not saying it was like up in the air, like above his head or anything like that.
So when you say slammed, you didn't actually mean slammed. You meant tripped.
Ultimate Warrior style.
Yeah, seriously. You just sort of meant fell down, not slammed twice. Slammed 2 times was her word. He slammed me to the ground 2 times.
No, but he lifted my body off of the ground. My feet were not planted on the ground when I fell down and hit the rock part of his house.
The rock part of his house? I thought it was in the grass.
If you smell what the rock is cooking, that part.
Things you were asked about the phone records and what time people called you, you said you didn't remember. What's going on there? Why don't you remember the exact times when people were calling or you called someone?
Because she's lying.
The way that she was addressing it, I wasn't understanding. If she's asking me, was I calling during the shooting? Yes, I was calling them. Like I was blowing my brother's phones up and things like that because I haven't heard from them. But when I'm on the phone with my friend, I'm just thinking they're with other girls or they're doing something. I'm not thinking there's a shooting at that moment in time. Her chronological order kind of confused me because she's discussing the hospital phone call, then she's discussing the house phone call. There were several different phone calls that were had.
She used the timestamps.
So it's very clear for the jury. Did you call your brother Keyshawn after he left the house in Delray?
No.
So you never called him?
He left the house.
So let me just make sure we're understanding.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you get home from coming from Mr. Rudolph's residence.
Okay.
Keyshawn is now leaving your residence in Delray.
Okay.
Did you ever call Keyshawn Jones, your brother, between the time that he left the residence at that moment until whenever else was the next time you saw him?
Yes, I blew their phones up because I didn't hear anything from them.
So you were, when you say blow their phones up, are you talking about multiple calls?
I'm calling multiple times.
Now, earlier in the cross-examination, you were asked why those calls
Can't
were
talk.
on your call
Busy
log.
murdering someone.
Yeah.
And during your direct examination, we had
Allegedly.
discussed that you recall that about the fact that you use multiple apps to make calls.
Yeah, so that's another thing that I don't think she really understood. You can speak on different FaceTime audio, you can speak on FaceTime, you can speak on tons of other different devices. So that could possibly be a reason why it's not popping up on her phone, her evidence.
So let's make sure everybody understands the call log that was in evidence or is in evidence. What form of calling is that, if you recall?
It's probably going to be regular phone call.
So any calls made on, say, WhatsApp, Instagram, or anything else would not be captured there.
I don't think it would, no, to my knowledge.
So there's just more phone calls than the one she asked about?
The rock part of the house must be an official realtor term.
So you did not delete calls?
No, I didn't delete anything. The only thing I deleted was the shoot his shit up. And I've said that since day one. I haven't deleted anything else.
And then you did not then delete, obviously, web searches either.
No, you guys have the web searches. There's nothing to hide. Like I Googled it. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Now, you were asked a lot about web searches and why you chose to make those searches. Do you recall that?
I'm 23.
No. I'm not getting into your reason at this point. Do you recall being asked those questions?
Yes.
And is that the kind of person that you are? You're always on your phone Googling something?
I'm just very informative. I like to know what's going on. Just like my brother, I'm extremely intelligent. I like to know what's going on. I like to be aware of my surroundings. I like to play chess, not checkers.
Bitch, I don't know what you are, but extremely intelligent and playing chess, not checkers, is not one of those things you are.
As she smashes your car window with a brick.
Well, that's just because.
Because she was upset, not angry, but hurt.
Oh my God.
So I definitely Googled whatever I Googled because I wanted to just be aware of what was going on. I've never been in a situation like this before.
Are you lying to the jury about anything
Yes.
that you said?
Yes.
Sustain.
I'm not.
Have you,
Jury, disregard that last statement, please.
Yeah, because
Next
she's
one.
obviously lying.
Ms. Jones, did you send your brother Keyshawn Jones over to Mr.
Rudolph.
Travis Rudolph's residence to kill him or shoot him?
Yes.
Absolutely not. And it sounds absurd and it sounds crazy for anyone to ever think that.
When
Okay.
Mr. Jones left the residence, you said earlier in your testimony that you saw his weapon, the firearm that he had purchased in his room. Is that correct?
Correct.
Who did you know was going with Keyshawn to the residence
Tyler.
that Travis lived at?
Tyler.
So you were, obviously you had spoken to Mr. Robinson, Tyler Robinson.
Correct. Those were the first two people I called after the incident.
When did you learn that it was other people also present?
When DJ started saying like, oh, that dreadhead nigga, like he's gonna die, da, 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 I put two and two together and I realized he was talking about Sebastian because they're always together. I know that they're always together. So I'm not gonna act oblivious like, oh, they probably wouldn't end up together that night. But he was not called to go over to the
I
residence.
doubt it, says John Gordon.
You knew for sure who was going and then realized who came.
Exactly.
What's she got against dreads anyway?
I have no idea. I give up. I'm done. I give up with this shit. Val has goat smarter than her.
That's true.
Guilty about this situation.
Yes.
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 Point to the members of the
That's funny.
Of course. 100%. So basically, I'm the type of person that's gonna say right now, I don't really wear my emotions on my sleeve. But
Yeah,
Sean,
you've been real calm and collected.
Overruled. Go ahead. Finish your answer, please.
I'm the type of person who doesn't wear my emotions on my sleeve. So I might come off kind of cold, or I might come off like the situation hasn't affected me, but it has. Even on Travis's behalf, because I do love him.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Cry, bitch.
What's the objection? The legal objection.
She's gonna start crying as she explains that she doesn't wear her emotions on her sleeve.
I'm not calling
Overruled.
Right.
Just finish the answer to the question, if you will, please.
Everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you.
The jury, why you feel guilty?
I feel guilty because
Oh my
the
god.
situation should have never ended the way it should. That's why I feel guilty.
Do you feel guilty because you wanted this to happen?
I didn't want this to happen.
I don't believe you.
Yes, ma'am.
That guy's face pisses me off too.
In retrospect, should you have just called the police instead of asking your brother to talk?
Definitely.
All right. Very well. Thanks. Any reason why Miss Jones can't go on about her day? All right. Thank
Please,
you. Ms.
get her
Jones,
the
watch your
fuck
steps,
outta
stay
here.
safe. All right. Now's a good time for a lunch break, ladies and gentlemen.
Now is a good time to end this shit after 13 and a half hours, 14 and a half hours. Oh, my Lord. Get out of here. Go away. Wow. How much of this have you seen, Valhalla?
This is about it. I happened to catch part of her testimony on a different stream within the last couple days, but it was the same testimony.
I have to uncuck my dog here. Hang on. I'm doomed. My brain is so fried. There's the overlays. All right, got it. Get out of here. Oh, Lord in heaven.
This
is not good.
No.
This is
no.
I mean, like I said, the prosecution has to show that there was he intended to kill them, that he used a particular weapon to do it, and that the intent, and none of this really affects that from just a pure factual standpoint. Their obligation. If her brother was honest and if she was honest, fine. That goes a long way to helping the prosecutor prove the case. But the fact that I don't believe a damn word she said in response to any question from the defense lawyer or her brother, for that matter. And you can go back and watch that if you're like a big time masochist.
Well, maybe a little bit.
I have to discount everything her brother and her has said. I just have to pretend this shit never happened. The last 14 hours of my life never happened. The state better come up with someone that is better on the stand than this to prove that he acted with the proper mens rea, the mental intent to commit the crime, that he used a particular weapon, that he had the opportunity, he did it. You have to prove he did it.
Well, his defense is self-defense, right? He's taking a self-defense.
That's what he's going for. Yes,
Okay.
that was the thing the defense said. And in Florida, you have to just make once the defense proves that it's plausible he acted in self-defense, then the burden shifts back to the prosecution to prove that it was not self-defense.
So proving that he meant to end these people doesn't really do them any good. They have to prove that it was a malicious ending.
It was not in self-defense.
Right.
And right now, again, it's them saying he chased them 300 yards and waited till they got in their car and then started lighting them up as they drove away, fleeing from it. So the prosecution's idea is once they started to leave his property, the threat was over. It was done. There was no more threat. So therefore, whatever may have been self-defense ended and murder began at that point. And so him shooting into the vehicle full of unarmed people, or the one person who was armed but nobody knew about it because he never drew his weapon, means it was murder. Whereas the defense is saying, no, this all happened around the car and there was no shots fired until they got into the vehicle, or most of them did. Apparently Taylor didn't quite make it in the vehicle. And at some point, one of the people in the vehicle, or Taylor himself, pointed a weapon at him, at which point he opened fire in self-defense. And the state, the brother made a good, he was there, he was an eyewitness, he said what happened. He didn't see anybody with a weapon, he didn't know anybody had the weapon. They thought they were all, that was fine and dandy. But then he bullshitted his way through the defense's questionings, which indicates to me he was lying or hiding or being untruthful, which makes me disregard everything he said. And she was just such a fucking basket case. She's done. And she may have thought she was being clever and helpful, but she sunk the prosecution's case.
Yeah, nothing about that was beneficial for the prosecutor. Nothing.
Nothing. Their redirect was really sad because they're even trying to go, okay, let's focus on what happened. And she's still being a dick under the prosecution's redirect. To the point where the judge is stopping her repeatedly, going, shut the hell up and answer the damn question.
She, in my opinion, is doing her damnedest to make sure she doesn't get charged for accessory to murder. That's my opinion.
Well, she Googled it.
She knows that it's a possibility.
Yeah. Well, why didn't they call a freaking ambulance? They said because they thought they could get to the hospital faster than the ambulance could get to them, which clearly wasn't the case. But all right, that's it. This is just stupid. I'm done.
It's
I'm done. This is ridiculous. Wow. Valhalla, any new goats to add to the collection? What's going on in Valhalla Awaits land?
I've got a couple of the young boys up for sale, so we'll see when that happens or whatever. But we're at 23, and hopefully by the time it's all said and done, we'll be down to 18.
Wow. It doesn't matter what they didn't go to the hospital and they drove past it and they didn't see the signs. Just forget that.
They drove past the hospital.
Well, there's this whole deal where she's like, there was these big ass signs directing you to the hospital, right? And he's like, well, I don't know. What does big ass sign mean to you? It was like, yeah, what is huge sign? It was like this whole big thing. Like, and forget the fact that ambulances pretty much know where all the addresses are. They can drive essentially at unlimited speeds through red lights and whatnot. But you can get them to the hospital fast. Why am I even talking about this? I give up.
It's all
yeah. What we've got coming up in Legal Vices land, I can't even tell you. My phone and my tablet died during this.
Tomorrow you have Raw from Law and Lumber on tomorrow, right?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull this out of my ass here. What we're gonna do is at Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time, we will have Rob from Law and Lumber on for 2 hours. Then we'll probably do 2 or 3 hours of this. We'll probably hopefully finish day 2, which will put us 1 day behind.
Well, you don't have anything scheduled.
Yeah, Wednesday we have a catch-up day. Wednesday is catch-up day where we're going to be talking about a lot of the cases, a lot of the open cases right now.
It's pronounced catsup.
Yes, shut up. Let's see. And as far as what I have so far outlined for the catch-up cases are Courtney Clenny, Taylor Shabusiness, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, piece of shit Alec Baldwin has done some dumb shit in the meantime. Anderson Aldrich, who was the LGBTQ plus Colorado shooter guy, we've got some stuff about him. Jesse Krzyzewski, the eye drop murderess, there's some updates on her. Leilani Simon, who has allegedly murdered her child and dumped him in a landfill. Sarah Boone, and some update on the Zachariah Anderson case. We'll go through those updates and maybe some others. Then we'll do some more of this. Thursday, OJ Simpson Day. We need a break from this, so that'll put us another day behind. Friday morning, we will do this. We'll have Drex. Friday night will be Unexplained on Fluxx's channel with me and Danny on direct, and maybe some other stuff. That'll take us through this week. This case,
busy
man.
week, man. You got a busy week. Yeah.
Mr. Popular. Yeah, we'll do this we'll spend as much time as we can on this case. We'll just stick with it and see what happens. This is just absurd. This is a ridiculous case.
It's awesome. It's so awesome.
It's all Fluxx's fault. So I have nothing but thanks to Valhalla Awaits for joining us, all of the mods, including Jenny B, Corin Pope, Lady Autumn Sky, Alan was here, Fluxx is lurking again, everybody here, just everybody. Joe Choi,
thinks around.
Yeah, Joe Choi. Everybody that's been here throughout the day. Alan, literally, it's like everybody. All you mods who participated in this 14.5-hour shit show. Thanks. People in chat. We currently have 680 people watching this disastrous testimony for the state. The state is in some dire straits right now. They've got to be able to recover from this. They have a lot of ground to prove. There's a lot of stuff that they have to prove to have any chance. Bella Estelle, I don't know if I mentioned, gifted 5 Legal Vices memberships. If I didn't mention that, please thank her if you got one of those. Cindy Luhoot, I know we mentioned you are a new member. Given her, you've been the member for 8 months. We did that. I think we're all caught up on things. Just want to make sure. And Aaron Hack gifted 10 Legal Vices memberships. If I didn't mention that, go ahead. Thank you so much for that, Aaron. I believe I did, but if not, I'll do it again just to make sure, because I want to make sure we did all of this.
Nicola's still here. Don't forget Nicola.
Nicola, you're still here? Okay, Nicola's here. Like I said, all the mods are just absolutely awesome. I could not do this without you guys. Everybody participating in chat, come back tomorrow. Like I said, we'll have Robin Lumber for 2 hours from 9 a.m. Eastern to 11 a.m. Eastern. Then we'll do this for 2 or 3 hours.
I got to meet Rob like last week somewhere, and we got
cool.
to hang out after stream for a little while. He's pretty good. He's a pretty cool dude. I liked him a lot.
It was Danny's stream.
It was, I think.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
It was her birthday stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. And yeah, Old Line Red had the massive $300 super chat for the day. $400 super chat. Sorry. The $400 super chat, which was like ridiculously big.
Heck yeah.
Thank you so much to everybody, all your generosity, all of the super chats. Deeply appreciated. Mods, Vice Squad chat is the best chat there is. Let me see if we can forward you all to, let's see if we can raid anybody. I don't know who's going live right now, but let's let me pull up the dashboard here for the YouTube studio and see if we can forward anybody in here. If anybody has anybody that's streaming now, let me know, and I'll see if we can join them. I'm just double checking here. Do a redirect to. Oh, we have Law Talk with Mike. Let's do a Law Talk with Mike. Everybody, let's go over to Law Talk with Mike as he talks about some courtroom shenanigans. Let them all know it's a Legal Vices raid. We know we all love him. Sweet Jesus, let's go over to Mike and wash the taste of this crap out of our mouth. Let me save that to make sure I don't boomer it. And we are there. Ladies, gentlemen, and Valhalla, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you all tomorrow. Sorry, Rob Govea. Valhalla just told me, but too late. We already set it up for Law Talk with Mike.
Fine.
All right. Let's go, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for more shenanigans. Thank you so much. Whatever you do, whoever you do it with, and however good it feels, enjoy your legal vices.
Be offensive and be funny, y'all.